stay conservative, run the ball here on third down.
Here's Richardson. He takes it in for his first NFL touchdown. And Pittman takes it inside the 20, the 10, towards the end zone. Touchdown on 2nd and 28. The Colts capitalize. Richardson to Pittman, 39 yards.
Good evening, everybody. We are back after a week. I think we've got almost everybody here, but our typical weekly special guest of Trev. He's spending time with the wife tonight. You got Damon down there is eating a ordered steak. Had that shit delivered Uber. Probably don't taste as good. Sorry we came on a little late. We had some technical difficulties up there in the right top corner. But he got it situated, so we're here. Everybody's waiting on news. I know everybody's waiting on news, man. Colts Twitter's been going wild the last few days, man. Been going wild. How's everybody doing tonight?
It's been
good.
On fire.
It has been on fire. And I mean, we could look at it two ways. How often is Colts Twitter positive?
They're not positive. They're attacking each other.
But possibly
well, I don't know. I thought
for
the last year that I've actually been on it, because I actually never really used it for years at all until recently this past year since we started the podcast. I thought Facebook was the toxic one. It turns out anywhere you turn on the internet and you can't see somebody's face, it's the toxic area.
Yep. Everywhere, dude. It doesn't matter what platform you're on. It's toxic.
Oh yeah.
I will say it's not as much on Twitter between Colts fans as it is on Facebook. I think there's a couple people on Twitter that are like they do it on purpose because it gets them their clicks and their attention.
Yep.
Because they get attacked by all the Colts fans when they put something negative on there. Or you got that. I think his name was like controversial Colt guy or whatever, Colt fan or something. That dude was a big pain in the ass.
Quella.
Yeah, that dude was a huge big pain in the ass. Was that who that was?
Let's not give too many of the haters shout outs.
Yeah. We'll stop. The train ends here.
Hey, one more. Hey, one more. Stephen Holder. God, man, you had to do that to everybody.
Oh,
with his fake news, he's been wrong about almost everything in the last year, and he thinks he's right because he talks to the highest people in the organization. Shut up, man.
I know, right? Somebody called him out on that, and he commented back and had to go try and correct him, so he felt better. Yep. I thought the funniest thing was that he was absolutely adamant that JT was going to get traded, wanted out of
That's
Indy,
what I was going to say.
And Destin was saying like that's not the case. Like they're still working through things, blah blah blah, and it ended up going with Destin. And I seen somebody made a poll on Twitter that was like, "Whose side are you on, Holders or Destin's?" I thought that was funny as hell.
Bro, they blew that up quick.
Bro. Yeah, so it was that's why I told somebody, I was like, if you were gonna pick a side in this case, you should probably go with the close reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my question is, how accurate is Destin? Like, I don't want to get my hopes up looking at this and scrolling through this shit, and then
So I'll tell you this:
the one that's wrong. Like,
totally get your point, Zach. But I'll tell you this: so the thing is, the reason that I differ from side to side, like I'm not saying I trust one more than the other. Right. The reason I ride with Destin is because Destin he'll say his sources, and he'll add in the note like, "Hey, if it doesn't happen, something else changed." But this is what I'm hearing, and this will likely happen. Now, Holder, on the other hand, he's going to tell you absolutes and infinites. Like, he's saying, this is not going to happen. It's not there, blah, 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 blah. Like, he's telling you, like, he thinks this is facts. Like, somebody told him straight to his face.
Right.
And
he's doing that Greg Doyle shit.
He doesn't leave it open for question. He's just telling you what it is.
But I'm going to be honest with you about something. My ideology about Greg Doyle as a reporter has changed over the years. With continued mediocrity, I'm just gonna be honest.
I was gonna say, if you said anything positive.
I'm just gonna be honest, bro. I'm just gonna be honest. I mean, Doyle, I would say lately has been more right than wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I mean, seriously, when has he been wrong down the stretch this year? Hey, Chris, we see that we're getting beat deep every game. We've had wide receiver 3 go for 300 yards on us. Definite veteran presence needed. Like asking those kind of tough questions, I didn't hate it.
No, but I feel like that's needed at the time. But at the same time, bro has spoken out of his butt too much, in my opinion, too many times to actually be considered a credible, a reliable, an honest reporter. Because as someone who lives in the area, as someone who can possibly read his stuff, I immediately am turned off the moment I hear, hey, Greg Doyle wrote this. I'm like, nope. If I want to be opinionated, if I want, someone to not give me the facts and shoot it to me straight, but also get their feelings involved, I'll read Doyle. That's just my opinion. I won't because it's Greg Doyle. And to me, keep your opinions out of it and just shoot me black, white, and that's it. Like, there is no Greg.
Yeah, and Josh, I'm not trying to say that we like Doyle. That's not what anybody here is saying by any means. I just felt like down the stretch this season when he needed to be tough towards some things, he wasn't clear. He was
honest.
And I'm not, and we're nowhere here.
Yeah.
We all know how Kent Sterling is, Dan Dockich, Joe Eriksson. We've done all of this for a long period of time. So, but indie media, I've had this conversation with other people. Indie media is just tough in general. Colts media is just tough, flat out.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. And like Ballard, who I don't know who posted this, Dave Stewart, you're right. Ballard's got his lips are sealed, dog. No information's coming out from that Colts office. Whether this knee deal is done, or it's still up in the air and he's not getting traded. We won't know until the man himself tells us, or he allows it to leave his office. Ballard tried. That's what a quality. We were just dogging on him in the group chat, but that's what a good GM does in a way. They control the narrative. They control the traffic. They control the trash and let out information one way or another.
The Colts fan base is just difficult to do that around. That's the problem, because we have been shown the door so many times, and we've been on the tips of greatness for so long.
Well, I mean, we want a consistent winner.
We do, and we have the right to speculate as well. And Polian was the same. He was, in my opinion, Chris Ballard is a wannabe Pat Riley with Brooklyn Nets results. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Oh, okay.
Too much at stake there.
I mean,
So I'll say if you put it on the Pat Riley, oh my God, we got 40 viewers right now.
Let's go.
Hey, most of them are in Twitter. So if you're on Twitter, right now,
drop a comment. Drop
comments, get involved in the conversation.
We're here to talk.
Let's hear what you guys.
And we go where you guys go. We take us where you guys lead us.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say was on that front,
that made no sense.
It's like you think about Brooklyn. Brooklyn has made some moves that have just failed horribly. And we're talking about, we're comparing the Colts to the Brooklyn Nets right now, the basketball team. No, Damon, actually we haven't. We make less moves that people are more pissed off about because we don't make more moves. So it's more on the way. It's more like, I'd say we're more like the Oklahoma City Thunder, where you done packed up picks or want to try and build your team exactly through the draft, and you don't want to try and do more or whatever. So I would say it's something like that.
I was talking about the lips are sealed, Godfather style leadership is what I was talking about here. You know what I mean? Okay. But I totally used the Oklahoma City Thunder reference mid this week. I remember that. But and then Michael Kaysen here says the Colts will build through the draft, but we need to pick up Mike Williams. And how do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about
Mike Williams is likely already about to sign with the Panthers?
I saw that.
The Jets, right?
Jets. Panthers, Jets. So
yeah,
I'm gonna say a no on the Mike Williams for one. I think he's very similar to who we already have in Alec Pierce, and then also he has a lot of major injuries as well. So I just don't really see the need there for it to get somebody who we have similar. If you were gonna go that route and you wanted a receiver like Mike Williams, you might as well just draft my guy out of Oregon.
We have one, Pittman Jr.
No, him and Pierce are different. I'm talking about Troy Franklin. If you wanted like a Mike Williams, so that would be the route that I think if you would go that way. I just don't see Mike Williams being the fit or something that we go after.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here with that question. The only reason why I say you go after Mike Williams is AR at times He's in college, and I'm basing this off college because he only played 5 games last year, 4 games, however many games it was, 173 snaps. That I do know. He only played 173 snaps last year, and at times he struggles with accuracy. So how to improve accuracy? Big catch radius. Dude's tall as hell. So I say, why not go get just a tall bit, even if you don't use him. Like, even if he's a camp body, he's warm. If he sucks, you cut him, you move on.
You pay him $8 million to be a camp body to cut and move on.
Yeah. I mean, we played people worse. I mean, we paid Andrew Luck $92 million to leave.
Like, man, if you don't stop, that is not even close to the same. That is not even close to the same.
We don't say that name.
Like, I'm just saying, like, money. We spent $200 million in free agency this year. Money is no problem from how I'm seeing it. No issue at all.
We paid guys. We paid guys that are going to be part of the team. The Chargers cut him so they didn't have to pay him.
Sure,
that makes no sense.
You can get him on the cheap. Bring him in. If he sucks, leave him. Cut him. Move on. Kick the tires on it.
You do know why he's going to the Jets in Carolina, right?
Right, because they have no receivers. They are
bottom
of the barrel receivers.
And exactly. And if you're bottom of the barrel or you've been hurt, you go somewhere where you get paid. The Panthers and the Jets will pay you. That's
for sure.
Exactly.
Sure.
The Colts are not paying you when you're coming off an injury.
I don't expect the Colts to pay high dollar, but I do think you could get them for, a $4 million deal total.
Nah. No.
At least offer it. And if he doesn't take it, he doesn't take it. But, I mean, I see no problem with kicking the tires, this is a terrible analogy. I apologize. I see no problem with kicking the tires on as many people as possible at that position to see who sticks, see who doesn't. Like, Ballard said he wanted to address the receivers and felt bad because he didn't have any receivers. Why not? We have 3 that we can truly depend on. Well, 1.5. I mean, we can really depend on. So why not? Certainly don't hurt.
Yeah. What about you, Matt, Damon? What y'all think on Mike Williams? Because I'm good on Mike Williams.
Next topic.
Trash, bro.
Next
topic.
I'm not. I don't know.
I said that man got cut. I knew everybody was going to bring up Mike Williams and be like, let's bring him in. Like, dude had one good year. And I'm not even sure if he was the right Mike Williams because at one point they had 2 Mike Williams on that roster.
Like 7 Mike Williams have played in the NFL since like 2000, dog.
And 2 of them were on the Chargers at the same time. They both played on opposite sides.
I don't even know which one we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't even know what we're talking about. I don't even know if the one that had a good season or not. So it's like,
why don't we jump on this one? Jump into this one, Matt. Since we,
I think that's where we address wide receiver, in my opinion.
So Nathan is asking, assuming Snead deals goes through and we grab Quandre Diggs or Justin Simmons, what would you like to see in the first round with the number 15 overall pick, Matt?
Wide receiver or edge. I'm still on edge, but I think if we replace some of the guys in the back end with Diggs or Simmons and we get Snead, that I think edge doesn't become as much of a priority.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think we could get a pretty solid guy at 15 for wide receiver, and we could upgrade that room.
What about you guys? What you guys think round 1 if we go safety and corner through free agency?
Same page, but I mean the draft is so competitive these days is that you can almost guarantee the top 15 picks are going to be next to generational talent. You know what I mean? As far as a skill set. And I hate to say it, but as we've come to realize that receiver is going to become a position that needs to be probably drafted top 5 for many reasons. 1, they're expensive post-rookie contract. 2, the best ones are going to go early. And we've just proven that these young guys are true difference makers. So I say edge or receiver. I just don't know what kind of receiver is going to be available for us at 15 and if they're going to be a true fit for the team moving forward. So that's what I'll say.
I agree because I do. When we talk about drafting a wide receiver in the top 20, there's a name that comes to mind that did not pan out very well. That's Philip Dorsett. So that's the only reason I'm kind of worried about drafting a guy in the top 20.
Yeah, but that's
wide receiver right now.
That was just a bad. That was just a bad pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think edge will still be important because we still need that elite guy coming off the edge. But I do think wide receiver is important. We could definitely address it.
One of my folks from the Colts chat on Twitter. Oh, you want to chime in on that one, Zach?
Yeah, I was going to say trade down.
Trade back, huh?
Trade the pick.
How far are you trying to go back?
Well, I mean, I look at it like Minnesota wants to move up for a quarterback, right? So odds are they're probably going to be willing to give you one of those second round they picked up, and possibly one of them first to get up to 15 to then use that pick to get a potential quarterback.
Well, as far as I'm tracking, they have the 23rd that's behind us, and they don't have a second anymore.
Oh, well, I mean, again, I say trade down. Like if you get Snead, let's say the Colts land Snead and they still have their first round pick. I say move back, make up the picks you're going to lose in that deal. Hypothetically, it's a compensatory and a potential third round pick. Make those picks up, still draft, because in my opinion, this receiver class is so deep. You can get a stud in the late first round and be like no risk. I mean, hell, if I know I bashed a tight end before, but even if Brock Bowers is there at 23, you take him at 23. You know, just like they took Dallas. You know, when Dallas Clark was drafted. You take him at 23. Now you got another weapon for AR. You're able to make up your pick that you lost in the Snead deal because you traded down, and so on and so forth. I mean, that's what I would do.
I don't totally disagree with your point. I just need to see the compensation, whatever we trade back for. Right. So I wouldn't say it's far-fetched. I think Matt and Damon are also correct on receiver. I think, like, I mean, I'm going to just say it from this standpoint. If we get Snead, I think everything is open game at that point.
I agree.
Yeah. We get Snead.
Yeah, I agree.
But we got to address safety. We have to address safety.
Well, he had Snead in there too. He said Quandre Diggs or Justin Simmons. So
yeah,
he said if we address corner and safety, where do we want to go in the draft? And I think that's perfectly open to trading back or receiver.
Right. And I wouldn't be mad with us bringing Blackman back either.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we address it, we can't go into the season with Thomas and Cross and then be like we're gonna draft again because we for some reason communication is our issue, and if you ain't gonna be able to fix it, you got to get some experience.
Agreed.
Yeah, like I was saying though, one of my folks inside of the Colts chat on Twitter was saying they heard a couple days ago that KC wasn't the problem, but more so the money Snead wanted.
Hey, so before anybody thinks that we have any insider information, we have nothing. Okay, we see everything that y'all see.
This is all opinionated.
Yeah, we've seen literally everything that you've seen on Twitter with all the back and forth of, you know, it's a done deal. We're just trying to get the contract fixed up, or you know, Stephen Holder saying that it's nowhere near done and it's not happening. We've seen all the mess. We're that's all the information we have too. So honestly, I hope it's done and we're just trying to get the contract. That's really, I mean, we're all on the same page, man. We all want Snead.
For sure. Tez is commented on here and is saying, could you guys really imagine being a part of a fan base like Atlanta, Carolina, Dallas, etc.? Basically some terrible franchises. We as Colt fans have to be somewhat humble and appreciative of what we have.
So me and Damon live out here in Dallas territory. So we know how shitty it is to be a Dallas Cowboys fan out here because they make the playoffs, they have a good season, and they still shitting on everybody they have. So it's like that fan base is just god awful.
And we are up to 50 viewers. Appreciate y'all. That's the most we've ever had at one time. We did have a pretty big draft night viewing last year, so appreciate all of y'all for coming in and viewing tonight.
Hey, if you're viewing right now, no matter what platform you're viewing from, I see we got 42 over there on Twitter.
Hit those buttons.
43 now. There's 1 on YouTube and 8 on Facebook. Whatever platform you're on, make sure you're commenting. If you're on Instagram, we can't see that. So we may even have more. I don't know what's going on. I could
probably go back to that.
Yeah, because that does not have they don't have all these crazy deals like the other platforms do. So if you're viewing this and you're watching, go ahead and start commenting. Start saying what you guys want to talk about, who you want to talk about, free agents you want to talk about. We can all laugh at Chicago together. That'll be fun.
Please also hit those buttons, like, subscribe, and share, please.
Yes, I actually like that Chicago move.
Horseshoe Mob said,
I don't like it for Chicago. I like it for Pittsburgh. I don't like it for Chicago.
Oh, I think Pace is actually a quality GM. I think how he's built this team, like DeMarco said, like you just build as a GM, you build a complete team, and you worry about your quarterback later. And in my opinion, that's exactly what they've done.
If
That's
he fails this
exactly
year,
what
though,
they've done.
It just didn't make sense that you literally
Yeah.
finally started loading up for Justin Fields and then you trade him. It doesn't
Bro,
make
you
sense.
trade him and you bring in another guy on a cheaper deal who's possibly better.
No, you
I
know
know,
what they're gonna do.
Keep
You know what they're
building
gonna
a
do.
team that way.
You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna go draft Caleb Williams and then he's gonna be a bust of the century. So it's
Hey, that's a risk you take. That
That's
could
tough.
be us with Richardson. Like you never know. Knock on wood. Let's hope it's not. But
yeah,
like,
but
that's
when
a
you
risk
have the for
take.
sure thing, you don't take that risk. You already had a
Yeah,
quarterback,
but Fields
and now you're
homie,
taking a
Fields
risk
ain't the
for a
for sure
guy
thing.
you don't know.
Homie Fields ain't it. Homie
You're the
Fields ain't
only one in the
it.
world that can say
Nah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. See, I agree with you, Zach, until you say Fields ain't it, because I think he was ruined. And if you give him the chance to get it right, because that makes no sense. You can't shake your head and say Fields is ruined because they still kept Eberflus as their coach.
That's
is
the biggest issue.
Is
That's the biggest
Eberflus not
issue.
ruined? Why would you
That's-
keep the same coach that was ruined with the quarterback? That makes no sense.
Well, this
The defense been ass
is
too.
This is Eberflus's, in my opinion, do or die for Eberflus. But I feel
Why
like
is
Fields
it do or
ruined
die for Eberflus, but you
because
put
he's
him
had
with a
4
new
years.
quarterback?
He's had 4 years.
So why? So why does he get 4 years but Justin Fields
because
don't?
hey, the NFL is unfair business, straight up, my guy. Like straight up. That's the only answer I can give you because that's the truth.
EB has to control his staff, bro.
I get it. Hey, I get it.
What has he done on offense to change it? What happened to his DC? What happened to his DC again? Don't say that loud. Actually,
we can't discuss what happened to his DC. We ain't trying to get
Yeah.
But I look at it from a quarterback playing perspective, which is what I'm talking about with Fields. If his first read's not there, he runs, he scrambles. Now, maybe by some grace of God in Pittsburgh, they develop him and he at least improves a little bit so he can read 1 to 2 to 3 and he's a serviceable backup or a Geno Smith type starter. I'll give him that. Sure. But I don't think he's going to, wreck the league and tear the league up again. Those days, that's a far-fetched fantasy, in my opinion.
I'm just saying, I don't want to dive into this too much just because we're not a Bears podcast. I'll let you go in a second here, Damon. I just want to say, I just think it's crap to give Eberflus another chance if you're going to move on from Justin Fields. If one sucks, they both sucks, because that's the way I'm going to put it, because of the fact that you also have to hire your offensive coordinator. Guess what? Didn't help Fields.
I get it.
And at the same time, your defense stunk each of those years, and it finally took you to the last 7 games when Justin Fields came back to finally win some games down that stretch, and you let Fields go and don't fire the coach. I just think that's just setting up for failure again, and we are up to 77 views. Appreciate you guys. Go ahead, Damien. You can finish off that.
Well, I don't think it's fair to even say that Pace is a great GM either.
Oh no, I wouldn't say he's great. I'm questioning the decision.
They had quote unquote preseason, the best offseason going into the year. They had the number 1 rated draft. And who has had more capital and opportunities at striking distance to build a team?
Literally nobody.
That's why I disagree with building a team backwards at times. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I just think it was crazy, man. I agree with you, Damon. I just think you gotta look at yourself sometimes and be like, where's the problem really at? And then if you think one is the problem, then they're likely both. Why not just rehaul it all? If you're gonna get rid of Fields, but I mean, I don't know. That's Chicago for you.
So I don't go back to the Joe Flacco thing.
Oh yeah,
we had that comment up there and we never addressed it.
Yeah, because we got into the Fields.
I agree. I think Joe Flacco is a big upgrade. I don't know if I would say it's a big upgrade playing wise or whatever. I know his arm strength's a whole lot better, but I do like him. It's kind of like a Hasselback type situation. Older guy with a lot of experience on a lot of different teams and a lot of different schemes that could, help out AR learn mentally and learn better inside the QB room when they're going over film, things like that. So yeah, I like that pickup too.
Yes, I absolutely do. Well, I'm happy to not see Minshew tap dancing back there no more. So
yeah,
and then I also love the fact that Flacco, he gonna push the goddamn ball. We may be like, what the fuck is he doing every once in a while, like Carson Wentz, but he gonna push the ball. We ain't gonna have to worry about.
He's gonna push the ball to AR's hands so AR can throw it. I mean, what the fuck?
I mean, if he has to play, in that situation, if he had to play.
I think what's understated is the importance that the Colts have put on the backup quarterback position. And
I think you got to in this day and age.
Right. I think it speaks volumes. I mean,
it's wild. It's wild because we put so much importance on the backup quarterback, but the NFL has put so much importance on protecting the quarterback.
Yeah.
So teams out here now are seeing like, oh, we need to have a good backup quarterback because our quarterbacks are getting hurt, but the NFL is doing everything they can to protect those quarterbacks at the same time. At what point are we now redshirting in game? Like it's wild to me. It's wild to me that these quarterbacks, they get hurt so easily, but they're the most protected person on the field.
I think
got a question for you guys about Joe Flacco. Go ahead, David.
Well, I can answer that question. They're just more athletic than they were in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. I mean, these quarterbacks they're expected to be dual threat quarterbacks. You know what I mean? And it's kind of a disservice to, nowadays we're not seeing, an evolution of pocket passers really anymore. Even your best passers in the league are somewhat dual threat quarterbacks. So it just puts them out there on the edge and more likely to get hit. Everybody's faster, bigger, stronger these days, man.
I think at that point, then you got to stop protecting them so much at practice. You have
My
to
question
stop
is
them so much because if you're going to have them doing all the mobile things outside, in the game, and you're going to have them taking hits in the game, because at that point, if they're going to be that mobile and athletic and they're going to do what they do, then they need to be prepared for what's going to happen when they do it in game. And if you're just protecting them in practice and they're, they do a read option, they take it outside the tackle and they're just getting tapped. I mean,
do you want AR when he comes back to be running 20, 30 plays in training camp, running the ball and taking unnecessary hits?
He's not going to.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's just kind of what
I don't want that, but I mean, I'd prefer him to be able to take a hit if he's going to be doing those things. You know what I'm saying?
You're just walking this is a thin line.
I don't know. I think you got it because you got the experience in there. I think Joe Flacco might get like 15 plays, all of training camp, OTAs, and everything. So we barely might even see him. And then we still got Sam on the roster, who's probably going to take a majority of like quote unquote backup reps. So.
And it's not a training camp of 50-50 like it was last year with Gardner and AR. Like we're going into
like, who your guy is.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, how much of Flacco's championship experience do you think, like, does that even weigh anything into mentoring a young guy?
We were all in high school when he won that goddamn championship.
For sure.
That don't matter.
Who? Joe Flacco?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think I was in high school.
Matt was 4 years into the military. He's supposed to sign a second contract.
Hold on. When did he win? 2012?
2012.
I just came back from Afghanistan. Yeah, I just came back from Afghanistan.
I graduated before.
That was my first year watching the Super Bowl after deployment. Yep.
Okay, that was my senior. That was my senior year.
Damon, so. I re-enlisted the year after that. So fuck you, dude.
I'm close.
Hey, but Dave Stewart is saying Diggs and Snead would be too big for us to get both. I don't think so. I think you trade for Snead, and then what you do is you restructure Quentin Nelson's contract, and then you give Buckner an extension that gives us plenty of cap room to move forward and get Diggs, who would probably cost anywhere from about $6 to $8 million, I guess, but I don't even know if that's his market. Brendan Douglas is coming in here. He's saying, "Good evening, fellas. How's everybody doing? I definitely believe we should go defensive back in the first round. I got to disagree if we get Snead. Personally, I just don't think you need to go rookie in the first round if you grab Snead. So I think at that point you can go maybe third, fourth round and get another young DB to help develop. But I don't think you need to take another early round one.
We got a lot of comments to catch up on here.
Yeah, Dave was saying Minnesota already traded for a first round pick. Yeah, they did. Second. Oh, they swapped seconds, didn't they, Dave? I think so.
Yeah.
What's up, Chris? We need Snead and Diggs. Chris is also saying, yeah, we definitely need to. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, like I'm over it, bro. Like at this point, like I'm tired of the rumors. I'm tired of the fans assuming. I'm tired of the eyes emojis. I'm tired of all of it. At this point, if we moved on and signed Xavier Howard and some other safety, I'd be cool with it at this point. I'm tired of waiting. I want to get some moves done to know we secured what we talked about in last week's episode when I said get one on offense, one on defense, or two on defense. Just get me the pieces that I know we need to secure, and I'm good at this point because I'm tired of it.
Yeah, because I mean the essential importance is it's not even just about getting someone elite. Like we all want
Right.
Snead because we know he's elite, right? And the
Right.
rumors that happened, and now all Colts fans are excited, and we're all like, I know we don't say this name, but it's like every year when everybody's like, oh, Andrew Luck's having dinner with Jim Irsay, everybody gets excited, and we're waiting on, oh, is he coming back? You know, it's like one of those. It's that time of the offseason for us where we potentially can get someone elite, but if we don't, it doesn't hurt us as long as we get the veteran presence in that secondary. I don't care if he's elite or not. Just be good, not below average or not average. I don't want average. I want somebody good. Give me somebody in there, you know, because taking it back with the same guys, you know, and people say like this: if we don't pick somebody up in free agency, we can just draft one. That doesn't fix the problem because you're fixing the inexperience problem with inexperience, and then it doesn't make sense. You know, it's not tomato. It's not
Exactly.
1 + 1 = 1. You know, it's
Yes, and that's been our argument this whole offseason is we are way too young on the back end, and then mid-season last season we get banged up, so now we're pulling up practice squad guys and depending on Juju, Jalen Jones to be lockdown corners at one. So we have to get some sort of veteran presence back there. If that's at safety, if that's at corner, if that's at both, that has to be the move going forward.
I agree.
This is probably the biggest debate in Colts Nation, regardless of what Ballard doesn't in free agency or the draft. Is he still the GM going into 2025 if the Colts don't make the playoffs? I said this yesterday in our little group chat. No, he isn't. If the Colts do not get in this year, it is time for him to go. Time for a new guy to come in and either reshape the roster in his liking or continue to build off the spare parts that Ballard has assembled.
Don't reshape.
See, we all had this conversation. We all had this conversation, and thank you. We just hit over the 100 mark of viewers, so appreciate everybody who's watching right now. Make sure to drop a like, share, comment, everything. But yeah, man, I think we're all on the same page on this. I think if we don't make the playoffs, it just essentially says we didn't improve. And I don't think Ballard stays. But I think essentially it also depends on how good certain positions perform, right? So if we go into the season and the secondary kind of stays stagnant, plays exactly like they did last year, then yeah, he's definitely gone. But if we see a team that comes together and is actually playing pretty well down, you know, in the season, every position group, I don't know. I think that's where it starts to get kind of iffy.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Damon go last because I know he has some probably some spicy words for this one. But yeah, I think also I clicked on the wrong goddamn thing. My bad, guys. But yeah, I think also Ballard, if we don't make the playoffs with this next year or before 2025, this year, I'm sorry, and then next year needs to be a division win between the next two seasons.
Yes.
If not, then Ballard has to go. I mean, it's just simply put at this point, like I understand, like I've been the biggest Ballard arguer just because me personally, I don't like change. I think once you start changing things, you mess stuff up and it just don't get better from that point. So that's where I argue and whatnot. So at the same time, I think you also got to have some success. Like many people have said it multiple times. This is year 8 for the guy. Like you got to figure it out at this point, and we can't continuously keep arguing quarterback when it's been 8 years. And like you've had chances to figure it out, so you either do or you don't. So at this point, it needs to be playoffs or bust for the Indianapolis Colts. No doubt about it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Damon.
No, I mean I don't have much more to add other than DeMarco, other than the fact that we've had the most cap in the league. You know,
I did not expect that.
We've had some of the most. I mean, what else can we say? 1 playoff win, 8 years. Use the quarterback excuse the last 6 years.
I don't think he drafts for the right scheme. Part of his struggling.
You know, and it's a, you know, as a GM, you're a product of what you allow. Like what GM last year saw our secondary whenever we're trying to make the playoffs and thought that could get us in the playoffs and that could see success. Could you imagine if we had to see Patrick Mahomes first week of the playoffs? Could you imagine we had to see Josh Allen first week of the playoffs?
Yeah, they're probably thinking, get you some.
We're 2-1 against Mahomes.
Oh,
Let him
God,
come.
here we go. What are we like? But what are we against him in the playoffs?
0-1. We only played him once.
You know, so but that's
bro. Whoa, hold on.
Don't. Hey, let me finish.
Okay,
Let me finish.
My bad.
But I mean, in you know, the cap stuff's my biggest issue. The sheer amount of money we've had to add to this team. Last year we could have added so much more, and you know, I saw that comment we had earlier about someone saying it hurt watching Houston get worse. Guys, that's an example of get better. Excuse me. That's an example of seeing what your rookie quarterback brought to the table, and now you know you can build that team around him. We unfortunately did not get the sample size enough of AR to do as much as we wanted to do, but that's to me is still an excuse for him not to even load up at some sorts, because obviously with what we had, I don't think we are good enough. That's just my opinion, and I'm leaving it there.
Here's the way I see it. I see it as we went 9-8 with Minshew, right? 9-8 is our floor.
Has to be.
That has to be the mark. Like, we can't get anything less than 9. If we get anything less than 9, Ballard's got to be gone. And if it's at a point in the season where we know we're not going to hit 9, that dude needs to be fired midseason. I
don't know about midseason, but
what's the point of keeping him? What's the point of keeping him in the season? You know what I'm saying?
I can hear Greg Doyle roast him.
Good.
So my pop says Ballard is just 2 games above 500. That's Colts GM. You're right. That's Dave Gettleman are like literally the same GM.
Here's the thing, though. The only reason I give Ballard a pass for about most of his time here was because he had Frank Reich, and I hated that dude with a goddamn passion. Since the time we lost, since the time we lost to the Jags 6-0.
See, I was like,
but I don't give him a 100% pass. I don't.
See, this is why after this year, if we don't make the playoffs, that's for me is why passes are done, because of the fact that we've talked about quarterback, and me and Matt, me and you, we've had this discussion plenty of time, because we went back over the years and thought about the different years that he could have made the change at quarterback or tried to, and
it's not even patched it up.
We've patched it up every single time where we get 11 wins with Rivers, we get 9 with Wentz, we get 9 with Minshew. Like, we've had solid years to say, like, okay. Like, you took us from the 2015, 2016, 2017 rosters that we had, which were absolutely crapshoots.
Trash.
Hell, Jacoby Brissett was like 5-2 at one point.
Yeah, with the 2019 roster, which is why I'm like, okay, we have what we need. But now it's time for you to start putting us on the over the top. Like, you were a good roster builder. Now you have to have the guys that can push it to the next level. So, like I was saying, with the 8 years, like, you find the quarterback, boom. Then it's like, okay, now when are we getting to the point where it's winning divisions so people stay off your back? When are you bringing in guys that are pushing us to the AFC championship games, the divisional rounds, keeping us in that level? And then, just like he said, with the 2 games over being over 500, we kept trying to patch the issue for so long. And so now it's like, even if we won like 7 games, you could sit here and say, well, this is AR's basically his rookie season. It's like, that's not enough at this point. Like, it took us 8 years to get to say it's second year.
And if you go back to Chris Ballard's introduction press conference, he got a lot of questions about Andrew Luck, right? Because Andrew Luck was still in the middle of, some injuries and things. And Chris Ballard had said it, that it was never about one guy. But then everybody wants to give him the pass because of the one position that he would not completely address for the 8 years that he's been here.
Hey, Zach, your dad is so right.
I didn't see what he said.
Ballard ran out of Philly trades and deals.
Nah, don't surprise me. Don't surprise me. Pops knows, man. Like, he knows. He knows.
Oh, that's awesome.
I just look at it like this. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Zach.
I just look at it like this. Like, the excuses have to stop. This is it. Win or if the Colts are in the playoffs, guess what? Steichen saved Ballard's job again. Because I can't
say that.
No, I'm saying it. I'm saying that. I'm convicted in this. This is me off the cup. My opinions represent me and only me, not the opinions shared here at Kicking with the Crew. All right. Like, Ballard's the luckiest GM in the league, because, like, we can't sit here and say Irsay would do this with Manning. Irsay would do this with Polian. I mean, like, the patience that Irsay has shown for Ballard is something that I don't think most owners would. So if we're not in the playoffs this year, you got to cut dead weight. And it's pretty evident Ballard is dead weight if the Colts don't make the playoffs. I get it. He came in and took over for Grigson, and Grigson's rosters were trash. No one's arguing that. poke the bear and say, well, when Grigson was here, he was a winner. But
He was.
He was. Those are facts, folks, whether we like it or not. All he did was win. Couldn't roster build to save his life, but all he did was win. But I just think we're giving Ballard too much of a pass. No! Ballard always gets a pass, like 100% all the time. It's never Ballard's fault. It's always the quarterback. It's always something else. It's put up or shut up. That's just where I'm at with it.
Derek Fisher, real quick. You said we have so many holes and the rest of the division got better. Can you go ahead and just type out those holes for me? I just want to.
Yeah, I want to know.
I want to hear what your perspective is on holes.
I don't really see a lot of people that believe that we actually have a lot of holes. I think if you look back at last year, all we've proven is offensively we don't really have any holes. I think our hole last year was Gardner Minshew. That was a hole. Just having
somebody
AR
identified a hole on offense, it'd be tight end and then wide receiver depth. That'd be it.
And then here's the thing. I mean, wide receiver depth was fine until Isaiah McKenzie did whatever. But to me, I think our tight end room is fine. We have guys as long as they can stay healthy because we have a different caliber guy. I think they all do different things. And stop sleeping on, Jelani Woods. Like that's my dude. Stop sleeping on that.
I would say holes are defensively more than
defensively.
And
secondary.
There's only really two holes on defense.
Yeah,
an elite edge rusher and a young secondary.
Somebody in the secondary. Doesn't even matter if it's safety or corner. Just give me somebody there.
Well, I need both.
I would like both, yeah, but I just don't think we have as many holes as what this is insinuating. I mean, you can't say that I'm not sold on Pierce as a wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3. Go watch film. Dude's always open. I mean,
I just want to see the list of the holes so we can kind of have this conversation about what we feel is holes. Because if there's so many, I don't feel like we're a 9-win team that gets there.
You think
with
backup running backs a hole?
Backup
no.
with 15 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. If our team had that many holes, we ain't getting the 9 wins. But I just want to take it back real quick.
Who do we have at running back? Zach brought up running back. Who do we have running back right now? We got JT, we got Sermon, Hole, and we got
coming
the kid
off an injury.
And then we got old boy who dropped the ball in
Goodson.
Goodson, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we're most likely drafting a running back somewhere later in the draft. Essentially,
I don't think we should.
I think we might. I think that might just be like luxury. That might be a luxury pick later.
I got a running back I really want to draft.
Trade all four of those tight ends.
Your dad is hilarious. He is hilarious.
Hey, bring McAfee out of retirement, Pops.
I like Hall. Hall is.
I do too.
So real quick, Zach, man, I just had to chime in on this part. Like, I totally agree. If we don't get to the playoffs, it's a wrap. Like, I can't make the excuses anymore. So I'm with you on that part. It's time to stop giving passes. You got your quarterback, so as long as he's not hurt before the season starts, then boom, no excuse. You need to bring in a free agent corner or a safety. If you don't, that's also your fault. So no excuse there. Now the rest is obviously could be left up to him because we know Ballard is a great team builder. But now where I differ and I jump off the tracks is when you say Shane Steichen has saved Ballard's career.
Oh, you absolutely would.
The fact that no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Bro.
So no, I'll let you finish. Look, he's built teams that have been there to compete and play each and out every year. 9 games with Carson, 9 games with Minshew, 11 with Uncle Phil. This man has put together rosters that have came in to compete. And I will say what his flaw has been is he put too much faith in old pastor that couldn't coach, Frank Wright. And then he also didn't find his quarterback, which has also killed his roster. So the fact that you would sit here and say Bill Polian didn't do it or he wouldn't give Peyton Manning that kind of faith, those are two different situations. That's a Hall of Fame quarterback. That's also a GM who had a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Who didn't wait around and built a team around a quality quarterback when he found one. And if Manning when Manning got hurt, he immediately the next year addressed it.
Addressed it with what?
Andrew Luck. When Manning snapped his neck and was out for that whole year. The next year, Polian went and got Luck.
I don't want to hear
Grigson
that.
did.
He lucked into Luck, right? And you just called Grigson a winner. But who was Grigson's quarterback?
Andrew Luck.
Oh, but that's his draft pick? See, you're making my
Sure.
case for me. Like, this is what I mean by, like, Ballard gets that kind of hate. And this is why I don't want to even keep giving him that excuse, because you're going to make me bring it to the end of the year to say this guy hasn't had a chance to find his guy. That's why I keep telling people, like with the Chicago Bears, forcing their pick at quarterback, because if Caleb Williams sucked, guess what? You're doing the same cycle all over again by building and just keep drafting quarterbacks, and you never make a goddamn team. So that's why I'm sitting here saying you can't say Ballard's career has been saved by Steichen. Yes, he finally hired a football coach to coach the damn team to get him over the hump. But to sit there and say it's saved, no. Ballard has built rosters that are ready to compete.
But Ballard's in charge of hiring a coach, right? That's on Ballard.
Yeah,
that's on Ballard. So Steichen saved Ballard's career.
Hold on.
No, that's not saving, bro.
If you paid attention to what Jim Irsay said, Jim Irsay was the final ruling on who was going to be the head coach. He was also the final ruling on firing Frank Reich to begin with. So that's not all on Ballard. There's a team of 20 different people, and actually, I'm pretty sure we hired a team to do the majority of the interviews.
I will say this: I appreciate Ballard and his team building. I'll use quotes for that just because, but I think he gets way too much of a pass because, like, dude's a clown. Let's hire Frank Reich. Okay. Let's go get McDaniels. Irsay crapped in a toilet and ruined that for us. We dodged a bullet there. Then we go out and get creepy youth pastor Frank Reich. So, there's that.
Bro, where's that video? We need that video of him in the locker room for Carolina. We just need that video.
No, don't leave, man. Frank is a good dude, man. Leave him alone, man.
There's that. I put that on Ballard because he clearly rode that way too darn long than anyone should have.
But Zach,
so that's on Ballard. That's on Ballard. So he's responsible for that mess. And then last but not least, Ballard gets an 8th year because of the coaching job that he lucked into in hiring Shane Steichen.
But bro, you keep putting out points that I agree with, and then you throw it off, bro. Like that's what I keep trying to say. Like the whole thing about lucking into hiring him, bro. Ballard chose all 22 candidates that we interviewed. He could have chosen Callahan that just signed with the Tennessee Titans. He could have chose the coach that just signed with the Atlanta Falcons. He could have chose any of these coaches, but he chose Steichen. Like, we got to remember, I understand a lot of this blame needs to be on his shoulders. Absolutely does. These are his choices, his decision. They go on his back. But my point is I'm saying that when he does make a decision, it's almost the right one every single time outside of what has been
8 years too late, my guy. That's the problem.
I know, but that's why I'm agreeing with you that if we don't make the playoffs, he's out. I'm just saying you can't say his career is being saved by a coach that he chose. It's his job to put the pieces in the building. It's the pieces in the building that got to go out and do the job.
But you can't say what Zach is saying too. You can.
That's what I'm saying.
And he hasn't done a good. Ballard hasn't done a good enough job of putting the proper pieces in place. Because, like you said, you want guys to take you to that next level. Ballard don't do that. He don't spend. We just spend almost $200 million over 4 years to re-sign the same dudes he drafted. He's not serious about.
So if he didn't,
I don't think he's.
So if he didn't re-sign Grover, Pittman,
right,
Q, Braden, Shaq when he was healthy, when he was Darius.
When he was Darius, yeah.
Right. JT, what would we be saying if Ballard didn't keep that talent in the building?
Ballard probably wouldn't be here.
We'd be 2017 all over again. That's the point I'm making. I agree with you, Zach. We need to go over the top. I'm gonna let you go real quick, Damon, but I just want to finish it. I get what you're saying. He does need to get the pieces that need to be over the top, but that was quarterback, bro. And I'm saying that this needs to be the playoff year, or yes, he's out because you've had too long. I'm just defending the fact to say nobody saved his damn job. He's killed his own by not getting the timely ones that he needed. That's all I'm saying. He has to be gone if he doesn't get it right. I'm just saying he killed his own. Ain't nobody saved Ballard from nothing. He's been good. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead, Damon.
No, I'm just gonna kind of get the thing moving here, and what Michael said here. If you want to bring up his point, Ballard drafts great players in the later rounds, but man, sometimes you got to make a splash. He's right. He's right.
Homie's cheap. He's cheap.
You're right. And
well, we like the guys we have, and then
you could say
we do nothing with it.
You could say DeForest Buckner was a key factor in him keeping his job too.
Hey,
that was too
I mean,
early.
I'm not.
Too early in his tenure.
It's too early. I am not a Ballard fan whatsoever. Dude, in my opinion, wants to run a scheme that he doesn't know how to draft for because he can't find a quality edge rusher to take it over the top.
And Dave,
so,
yeah, I agree. And like Dave says right here, to be fair, what guys that we were signed this year should we have let go? I don't think anybody here feels we should let anybody go.
I have a few strong opinions.
I think that the years and sometimes maybe even the overall salary, which if y'all look into we looked into, a lot of that salary is incentivized that's getting reported. So those contracts aren't going to be paid out 3 years, $33 million if the incentives are not met. Those can be anywhere from 18 to 21.
Making guys who've already showed they got to go out and earn it.
Right. No. So we're on the same page here, guys, and we're arguing, but we're all on the same page. We just feel different ways about the situation. That's what it is.
Yeah. No, I just mean not to take any credit from what he can do, and also give
what can he do though? What has he done to say, oh, he's a good ass GM? Because bro is mid at best. Winning is the only thing that matters, and Ballard don't do it.
Zach, bro,
how could he championships?
How could he?
No division titles.
So in 8 years, you said he has not done anything. He has not hired one good person, has not drafted one good player, has not done. He's
drafted tons of great players, but he can't find a coach to get it to go.
He hasn't won,
but he hasn't won, and that's the only thing that matters in the league, dog. We don't get participation trophies. You win or you lose, and clearly Ballard is a loser. End quote. And if we win this year, it is not on Ballard. Shane Steichen, because he coached it again, saved Ballard's job. That is all.
He is not a quarterback. He is not a player. He is not a coach. It is not his job to win.
But it's his job to hire them all.
It's his job to acquire talent. And has he not done that? Do we not love Steichen?
Sure, but it took him way too long to figure it out.
I've said that. I've agreed with you on that point. All I'm saying is stop sliding the guy like he's bringing in fucking Grigson 40-year-old vets and paying them like they're in their youth contracts.
But did we win with Grigson?
Because he had a quarterback, bro. It's not making sense, bro. You can't keep bringing up Grigson's quarterback when Ballard had one season with the guy. Oh, and guess what? When we had one season with the guy that Ballard was supposed to come in and take over with, just like Polian did for Grigson, guess what? We went to the playoffs and beat the division champs. Who cares about a division title if you ain't winning nothing further? Look behind Matt right there. Look behind Matt's screen on the wall. Tim.
Yeah, I see it.
We got 9 division titles and 1 championship. I don't care about what Polian and Peyton Manning did. You didn't win shit. So if we're going to keep sitting here putting this on Ballard over 8 years, what if he went 3 Super Bowls in a row the next 3 years? He is still a loser? Like,
no, by then he won. By then he's won.
No, that's different.
His quarterback. No, it's not different because Ballard has had to build
if he won 3 Super Bowls?
Yeah, because I'm telling you what he's done, though. I'm saying we're discrediting like he hasn't drafted a single good player or had
he's drafted. I said he's drafted well.
Said nothing.
We're not saying that. But what I'm saying is
he's not won.
He's not won. You can draft all the talent in the world. If you can't find a coach to coach it, and it takes you 8 years before you find a guy, and in my opinion, I still believe he looked into that before you find a guy, because his first choice, McDaniels, wanted no part of that. So he scrambled, and you could tell he clearly scrambled and got Frank Reich. He chose wrong when it.
What did McDaniels win?
Do we need to go year by year here? Is that what we need to do year by year? And just the direction of this team went and it didn't work because we could.
Literally, his own stubbornness is the reason why he is captain mid. Ballard is exactly that. He's 500.
Okay. I mean, y'all want to keep putting it this way, we can end up just like the Chicago Bears and end up drafting three quarterbacks in the last, what has it been, 5 years? Mitchell Trubisky, Justin Fields. No, at least
so they keep taking swings at trying to get it right. Meanwhile, working 10 drafting in the 20s.
So Damon just talked about all that cap space and what has the Bears done? But at least they went out and put DJ Moore in. They went out and got DJ Moore, difference maker. They went out and got Keenan Allen, difference maker. They went out and signed who they traded for from Washington last year, difference maker. They're building an offensive line, quality offensive line. They went out and got Swift at running back, solid running back. Probably a difference maker. They have a decent tight end for the rookie quarterback to throw to, difference maker. They paid a quality corner in Jalen Johnson to come back, difference maker.
Okay, hold on. So now I have to jump in. I've been sitting here quietly, just kind of chilling because I kind of agree. I'm on both sides of this fence here.
So you tell me, sure, we can draft what we draft, but if we don't add talent to the talent we already have, what are we then?
Matt, before you go,
no, hold on.
Just let me say one thing before you go, real quick.
He's sitting here saying that he just named a whole bunch of people that Chicago picked up. So we're trying to sit here and say that JT is not a difference maker, that MPJ is not a difference maker. Hold on. Let me finish. That that Buckner's not a difference maker, that Grover's not a difference maker, Zaire's not a difference maker, Kenny Moore's not a difference maker.
Is Zaire a difference maker?
Hold on. Yes, that Rigoberto Sanchez is not a difference maker.
Punter don't count.
Punter always counts. He's on the roster, 53 man to be exact. We're going to sit here and try and say that when he brought Moss in, he traded Naheem Hines for Moss. That Moss was not a difference maker. Let's talk about how Jelani Woods is not a difference maker. Will Mallory was not a difference maker last year. Granson, when he was healthy, was not a difference maker last year. Ogletree was not a difference maker. Big Q's not a difference maker. Ryan Kelly's not a difference maker. I can keep naming them. He's brought in people.
Okay. Zach,
are they
Zach,
the guys that are going to take you over the top? No.
Zach, hold on. Okay, hold on. The player's taking you over the top. Well, what the fuck happened? Because what was the Colts record versus the Bears record last year? All these swings that they keep taking that y'all love. What was the Colts record with no players, no success, no wins, none of that versus the Bears record with all these swings?
We had 9 wins because we had better coaching. 9-8 and whatever it was, 3-13. Whatever the Bears record was.
So who hired the coach?
Like I said, Ballard looked into this.
Who hired the coach? Who hired the coach?
And Ballard.
Come on, man. Come on,
Irsay
man.
and Ballard. See, Ballard doesn't do anything by himself. He won't nut up and make decisions for himself. He can't do it.
This is one of the times where I wish we could split the lines and be separate fans. So I could say, I wish you would fire him so we could see what happens to the team if we hire another Grigson, bro. Because I can tell you right now, if Grigson would have been the GM of that team when Andrew Luck decided to walk out of that door in 2019, bro, we'd be the Cleveland Browns 0-16 for like 4 straight years.
I don't disagree with that. I'm not making a case for Grigson. I'm just saying Ballard isn't as great as everyone wants him to be.
Nobody's saying he's great, bro. I agreed with you. He should be gone if we don't make the playoffs.
He should have been gone before then.
I'm saying give people a little bit of their due. Just a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
He's had 8 years, dog.
It's hard for people to do that after 8 years, DeMarco.
He's had 8 fucking years.
It's very hard.
How many more do you need?
It's very hard.
This is probably why people don't have success in the league. This is exactly probably why.
It's just what have you done for me lately, league? You win, you got 3 years, you win. If not, you should be gone.
Okay, so when Chicago is hiring a new GM within the next year or two, then what?
And 3 years. It didn't work out. So you rebuild, you start it over because at least it's like the NBA. If you're not competing, you're rebuilding.
Hey,
I see
Caleb
no difference.
If Caleb wins the bust, Pace is gone and long gone. Because And that's different because of the amount
don't
of draft
even-
capital.
But you got to respect Pace because he nutted up and took his guy within the first 3 years of being there. I don't respect Ballard because the dude wouldn't do it after Luck left.
I don't respect Pace because he kept EB. I don't like Parent. I don't like. I don't. So I mean, like I said,
I
we're on the
personally
same
don't.
page here.
I personally
But we-
I don't put the quarterback situation 100% on Ballard. I don't.
I
hold
don't
on, hold
either.
on.
But
I don't
he's
either.
a part of the GM to figure it out. And homie, it took you this long to figure it out.
Bro, you got to look at it situationally. I mean, I get it. I get what everybody's saying. I don't know why everybody's fucking yelling at me. I've been sitting here quiet this whole goddamn time. Ballard had a guy at head coach, which he couldn't fire because Jim Irsay was obsessed with Frank Reich. Nobody realizes that. Jim Irsay was obsessed with the guy. That's the reason why he was here for so long. That's not on Ballard. Frank Reich, every single quarterback we brought in under Frank Reich's tenure was someone he coached somewhere else.
Yeah.
And everyone
Shame on
thought
Ballard.
everyone thought that he could revitalize that
Matt Ryan.
career. All right, let's move on because this conversation. We all know if we don't make the playoffs, we all agree dude's going to be fired at the end of the season.
Yeah, I can't wait till we end up like the Cleveland Browns.
I think I disagree with this because we had a complete disaster with Matt Ryan, and I think he survived that. So I don't know what he's saying here that our O-line aren't difference makers.
No, he was agreeing with Marco.
He was agreeing with you when you ran off your list, saying that Quentin Nelson, Braden Smith, Bernard Reitman are also difference makers.
Yeah,
That apparently Ballard has never drafted, according to
Sure, they're difference makers, but he don't add anything else once he drafts them. Like, let's not clown me. I didn't deny they weren't difference makers. But he don't add to the difference. He don't add to the difference makers we have. We're just going to let a GM, sit here and be GM for 16 years and accept mediocrity. Sorry, I can't do that as a fan.
We've all said he's gone.
I can't sit here and do. We all said he's gone, but we're all like, no, he's a 500 GM at best, dog. He's trash, and I can't sit here and let you sit here and be all like, give Ballard another chance. Ha ha ha! No, bro should have been gone after fucking retired, dog.
And this is why you keep losing the argument because you're not making sense. You're saying that I said, give him another chance when I've literally agreed.
That's what you just said.
I just said he should be fired if he don't make the playoffs. I agree.
Why does he need an eighth year? Why did he need an eighth year?
So you want to fire him right now?
Sure. Fuck it. Why not?
This is not
it's
Madden,
Shane.
bro.
Shane saved his job, right?
This is not Madden.
Shane could do it. Hell, we can even have Ed Dobbs help him out.
Hey,
why not?
I don't draft in Madden. I trade all my draft picks and pick up free agents.
This is ridiculous. This is not Madden.
Y'all got Zach out. Zach left.
Oh man.
Okay, Michael's point here though. Will Fries needs to go. Hey, I thought Will Fries and Wesley French kind of picked it up towards the end of the year. I mean,
he played good.
None of us here are going to sit here and say that they're B+ quality guys. Do we need to add depth there? I think so. You can never lose. You can never lose at getting depth at offensive line. But I mean, I don't know if they need to go because it's valuable depth that we have to keep. Just my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah, no, I definitely thought Will Fries played much better than we thought he would. I thought he was going to be a guy that we were putting on the chopping block pretty quickly.
I think there was really only one game where I questioned anything about our offensive line, and that was when Myles Garrett decided to beat us single-handedly.
Yeah, and somehow we were tied. We were up at half.
Yeah, and somehow we only lost because of a terrible fucking penalty.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not with you there, Michael. I think Fries got better. Cecil is saying that every team has different makers, but winning won't happen unless it starts from the top. I'm telling you right now, it's key positions. You look at teams that win, almost all of them are going to start with a quarterback at the top of that roster.
Yep.
Unless you're the Chicago Bears from 2006.
But
they had a goddamn elite defense, and I'm talking about a number one defense in the NFL. That wasn't like
seven.
You missed it. It wasn't even and it wasn't even one of those teams that was like, a good defense or just the best defense of that year. Like they were probably the best defense for a couple, for years. Like nobody was able to follow that until what, Seahawks?
Yeah, they were definitely like an 85 Bears. You know what I mean? Average offense, elite defense, get you in those situations where you can get at it. But hey, Freeland was put in a terrible spot for that game, and I about got ran out of this place whenever I came on and absolutely roasted Freeland. But every player in any sport has one of those games, their rookie season, where they have to go up against someone bad. Any sport. So, I mean, and Freeland improved towards the end of the year, but, I mean, to have to go up against a possible all-time great defensive end, your rookie season is not an easy task. Not whenever you're not getting help on a double team.
Yeah, Dave is saying that Freeland was put into a tough spot that Cleveland game. Yeah, I mean, Myles Garrett was a monster, man. It was just one of those games where you couldn't really do anything with him. You wish we would have got some of those calls that the Colts have actually put in for rule change this offseason. But, yeah, it's just one of those games where you didn't really – I mean, it was tough all year just to think about it. Like, we had a lot of crazy pass rushers, defensive tackles we went up against this year. It was just –
old boy in New England had fucking Gardner Minshew tap dancing.
Oh, yeah, and they didn't even have
they didn't even pressure that much.
They didn't even have their best pass rusher that game. This is the crazy part.
I think he was playing.
Nah, he was out with the torn bicep. He missed the rest of the season. I don't know why I'm forgetting his name right now.
I can't think of it either. Did your chili cool down?
There we go. That's my guy. But yeah, man. Cecil is saying that French and Fries need to catch up. Well, what is it? No, it's Wesley French. Wesley French is back up, and Will Fries, man. I think he hopefully he can keep getting better.
Someone pulled Dave's comment up.
Homie, it wouldn't be butter knives. Get out of here with that weak sauce, dog. I don't mess with butter knives. Like, I don't mess with butter knives. Like, I got better things to do than that.
All right. I guess. I mean, did we touch on the Snead situation a lot? Do y'all think, or do y'all want to? I know we're kind of
not really. I know a lot of people were talking about it.
Trash. No need. Won't matter. Yeah. We ain't gonna do nothing to get ourselves better. Won't matter. Trash.
They're really.
We don't have talent. Trash. No need. Trash. Garbage. Next topic.
Hey, if Snead doesn't work out, give him a break.
There ain't real reason. There ain't a real reason to talk about it because there's no updates. Everything everybody's seeing on Twitter is what we're seeing. And then the worst part is if Ballard doesn't make it work, you're gonna hear Zach just
fired. The trash. The day that man gets fired, I will run through my edition. Yes. Play it one more time. The day that man gets fired, I will run through my edition shirtless, screaming, yay. Yeah, I'll get on the show buck naked if we have to, folks. So excited. That's how excited I will be the day Ballard's gone.
Trying to keep viewers, bro.
I will pull a John Cena at the Oscars. Like, whatever.
I'm just gonna not comment.
Oh, don't start it again. 40 minutes.
No, I said I'm not gonna comment on that. But we'll just leave it there. We obviously know that Ballard will be fired if we do not make the playoffs. Although me and Zach do
eventually, maybe after 8 years.
Do disagree on his resume, but what else do we got? What else happened this week?
Can we maybe ask what was everybody's favorite? Resigning. Something that we really liked.
Grover.
Okay.
Grover. I don't know, man. I like the signing of
Zach,
Grover.
I feel like you like the MPJs.
Zach's now going to start fucking arguing with me just because I said Grover.
Zach, was there a free agent signing that you liked that we re-signed or picked up? Was it something that you liked this week? A positive?
Did you like anything?
Ballard's the best. He only adds playmakers. All of them. There was no bad deals. Like none of them. All he ever does is just add incredible immense talent. How dare anybody question it? No, I actually the deal I really liked was Pittman Jr. I feel like they got a good deal on him. I would have preferred it was a 4-year deal, but the fact it's only 3 years, I get it. He wants to do it so he can double dip and get more money. But the only deal that I questioned kind of felt like you paid Grover way too much money. A deal I didn't really understand. Why in the world are we extending Zaire a year early? In my opinion, I don't really understand.
I think it opened up.
He asked for it back in November when he outplayed his special teams contract.
Yeah.
And they honored it by paying him as a top 10 linebacker in pay.
Fair enough. That was the only 3 moves I really liked, or one move I really liked was Pittman Jr. I thought they got a bargain for that for a 3-year deal. Didn't really understand why we signed Zaire until DeMarco spoke on it. And then I wasn't a fan of bringing I was a fan of bringing Grover back. I just didn't want to pay Grover that much. I'm like $39 million for a 2-down defensive lineman, in my opinion. Little rich for my blood. But I understand Ballard's philosophy, and you want to reward your own. So that's why you paid him that much money. It's probably going to be his last deal as a Colt anyway. So if that's his swan contract, then so be it.
Here's my one contract that had me questioning, and I'm still questioning it, even though the money's not as much. Like when we first saw it, and it was like, I was like, that's an overpay, and then they showed the breakdown of it, and we're like, oh, it's not an overpay. It was Tyquan Lewis, but the only reason is because I essentially don't see what he's done for us at all. And this man gets, a year contracts every year. He's getting re-signed or extended. And he just, it's like, oh, here's another 1-year prove it deal. And the man still hasn't proven it. So that to me, I just feel like that guy is one of those guys you did not need to re-sign. You could have just let him go and then bring somebody else in. That's just my opinion on that one.
Yeah, I'm with Zach on this one as far as the contracts. Love keeping Pittman for the 3 years. Obviously, he stated that Pittman wanted to re-dip, try and get a contract while he's 30, kind of like Mike Evans just got down in Tampa Bay. Kind of want to get that when you're 30. And then same with Grover. I also thought the exact same thing because obviously I didn't want to replace Grove, but I just thought it was a little expensive for me at being 30 years old, keep you till 33. Obviously, defensive tackles live a lot longer in the NFL, but just was kind of questioning the money there. So I agree with Zach on that one.
Best ability is availability, bro.
That's right.
I'm sorry, but hopefully, I mean, there's nothing we could do about the contract now. So all I'm hoping on, because I do like Tyquan. I've been an advocate for him before, essentially because of how good he is at sealing the edge. But I need to see him take a step forward. I mean, he's getting passed up by guys like Deo and Quiddy and things like that, but he's been in the league a lot longer and hasn't really done anything.
I mean, it's his position versatility that I think what makes him valuable.
Right.
Because he can play 3 tech, he can play outside, he can play 9, he can play 1. Like he's literally like tweener weight. I think the dude like runs at like 290 all year, specifically so he can play all 3 spots. But I do agree. Just bro's been hurt. You probably get a cheaper option in the draft and even later on. I mean, Roquan Davis was a perfect example of that. Like,
I think that room in general too is just waiting. We're just waiting for one person to pop off. We're a pop off away in that room for one person, and I think everybody thinks it's going to be Dio. So and Quiddy's in a do or die year.
I'm essentially tired of waiting for someone to pop off, and just want to bring somebody in who's going to be elite, someone because when you're waiting for someone to pop off, you don't know if they're going to pop off. Like we thought that this year was the year Quiddy was going to pop off, and Quiddy didn't pop off, and now we're sitting here like,
him a bust.
Well, maybe Deo is now going to pop off. I think Quiddy, unless Quiddy somehow finds a way this year to pop off, then yeah, he's a bust.
I don't know, Dad.
Danny Pictures, he is a free agent. He's coming off a broken ankle.
Yeah, the only offensive lineman that they re-signed is that like Jack Anderson dude, the
that
first
we
free
never
agent.
seen play.
Yeah, I have no clue he was on the roster. I didn't even know he was on the practice squad.
Pinter's a free agent already.
Yeah, same draft as Blackman.
Wow. How's a versatile? That's a versatile guy too. You know.
Well, the
Bro
tough
was
part is
garbage at guard.
the tough
Especially
part
when
is
Ryan Kelly gets hurt a lot. So
do you want to keep him coming off the broken ankle and then figuring out his price because you gotta obviously pay him, and it's like does he want to take a vet minimum pretty much? It's like he has to decide what he wants to take unless another team is willing to pay more. So that's as far as we know. Haven't really heard too much about Danny. I guess that he resigns and pretty much just spends the season rehabbing.
yeah,
What else do we have? Raekwon Davis. Any comments on a new defensive tackle?
I like it. Interesting to see how he fits out. I think if keyword Gus Bradley would be creative, I think that would be a nice bear front having Grove, Roquan, Buck,
Partridge.
Partridge. That's a solid bear front. Like if the Colts put it out that 5-2, that nickel package, or essentially that old school 3-4, 5-2 bear nickel package together, then that'll be interesting to see, regardless of who your ends are. I think that those three, that's a formidable D tackle combination. You add a guy who was improving, who I really like, Eric Johnson, to that mix, who I think, only gets better. I like it.
I'm really hoping they let Charlie Partridge go to work with some of them fronts, man. I'm really hoping they do. I mean, even if we run essentially the same scheme, but mix up those fronts and show some different things, man, that would be such a nice upside for us to have because we literally see that 4-man front like every fucking play.
some people are asking more questions about the draft.
You know what? Derek Fisher's the same one. He had comments up there before when we missed him. I'm gonna see if I can find him because he had posted out our needs. And
he keyed out receiver, offensive line, and corner.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. So he said our needs that we needed to address that we had so many of: cornerback, another edge, wide receiver, corner, safety. Add to that edge. He said dominant defensive end and safety.
Is it fair to say we don't need a dominant defensive end? I literally believe we could go out and re-sign Yannick Ngakoue, and the combination of Ngakoue with the guys we have would probably honestly be equivalent to one guy who's a legit pass rushing threat. I just think they need more consistent players who can get sacks. That's really what this comes down to, in my opinion.
But if you
I want somebody that they fear, man. I'm so tired of this bringing these guys that can do cleanup, because that's essentially what these guys get sacks out of. They're not getting sacks within the 2.5, 3 seconds time frame that the pocket's usually there on average. These guys are getting sacks after that 3-second mark, where quarterbacks are just holding the ball too long, or their timing or reads are off. That's really all it is. It's cleanup. I don't want a cleanup guy.
Dominant DN.
I want a guy that essentially is going to push that left tackle onto his ass or go underneath him, and he's going to get to the quarterback by the time the quarterback plants his back foot. Like, that's what we need, in my opinion. That's what we need. I'm so tired of these cleanup guys, bro. It's so annoying.
Yeah, Zach, I got to say I agree with Matt there. Like, I think you have to go dominant defensive end, because if we get like a Yannick, like Matt said, it's just a cleanup. So DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart are doing all the work to clean up the middle, and we still can't get to the guy. He's running back there all day, even when you send a blitz, and they got all day to pass. So I think also you have to want a dominant defensive end. That's why I kind of maybe wish we would have had somebody at that point, but I got to say dominant defensive end.
I will say this, if we address corner and safety in free agency, like everybody was talking about, if we got Snead and Diggs, then I think defensive end becomes less of a priority. I think it's still up there, but I don't think it's as needed because I think those two pieces will take some of the pressure off of secondary and I'm trying to say it. You know what I'm trying to say.
Having a secure back end will make the fronts a little bit easier.
I think
you
it'll
won't
get there
need such
faster.
a dominant force up front, right?
Yeah. I feel like that was literally just a lateral move. The Hunter going to the Texans. I don't really see it being as big of a deal as we're all making it out to be.
I don't like his age. Like he's 30 something. And defensive end is one of those premier positions. And I don't know his injury history. So if he's coming off an injury or if he gets injured at all, it could be that's it. I mean, maybe Ballard took a swing at this, but highly doubt it. So if he took a swing at Daniel and offered decent money and was turned down because dude went to the Texans, and so be it. But
Yeah, that's the rumor, Zach. The rumor is that he went to Houston to take less. So hopefully,
isn't he from Houston? That's pretty much why he went there. He wanted to go home.
Exactly. I don't think he stays the backup throughout the season. I just wanted to jump in there and jump on that one first. I think that Sermon is good for now. I think he's a guy that was efficient, solid player for us. But I do, or at least I'm hoping that Ballard would think. I think one of these really fast, shifty running backs to be a number 2. That's what
the back I really like, believe it or not, even though he can't catch worth a damn, is I really like Goodson. I think he showed something.
I'm glad you came around, man.
I think while that one pass was, I put 50% on Goodson, 50% on Minshew because he threw it low.
Shit, I put it like man, that shit goes on everyone. I think it was a stupid fucking play call.
Right, absolutely. But
shouldn't have been in that position to fucking begin with.
I think Goodson, believe it or not, probably, in my opinion, I would have him at RB2 heading into the season, Pops. Sermon, to me,
don't sleep on Evan Hall.
A third-round back. The only question I have with Hall is how's he going to react coming off injury, ACL, or whatever it was he did.
On a 15-yard run, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we'd go draft and they kind of battle it out for number 2. I was also still scared to see Trey Sermon all the time run because he had fumbling issues. So
I was just glad we didn't have motherfucking DJ back there anymore.
Man.
Fuck, bro. Single-handedly lost us a game.
Who else did? Is there anybody that we missed? I know we re-signed. We got the ticker at the bottom for anybody who hasn't been following along with that.
Hey, also, this is a good time. Let's give a shout out to ZTV and Indy ZTV.
Appreciate you, ZTV.
Joey Carr.
Appreciate you.
If you're new viewers or you haven't watched this before, drop us a comment. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you want to talk about.
Sorry, boss. Sorry for the argument. Had to get good TV on. Got to keep the drama. Want the TV ratings and the view ratings to go up. Much love to Marco.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say much love to you. I hope you were still pissed at me. You guys know I love a good argument. I hope nobody ever gets mad.
I enjoy a good argument, but I was like, I was just like, bro, you can't be serious right now. And I just got hot. So.
No, you're good. You're good. I can understand. I know Damon's been heated about it. I know plenty other people have the same stance. I think we're all on the same page. I just show love to people. That's all it is. I show more love than I want to kick them out the door. And it's all good. We disagree all the time. So it's just for me. Y'all know I love a good debate. So I'll go.
That was worse than mine and Zach's great debate of 2020.
Yeah, DeMarco, you actually got under my skin, dog. Like no one. I don't show that side often. Like it's hard. I pride myself on being like not that dude that people can just like, poke the bear. And I was like, bro, DeMarco can't sit here and actually defend this. This is arrogant on his behalf. There's no way.
You know what? The fact that you say that is exactly what has this fan base seeming through the ears because of the fact that everybody argues against Ballard. And it's like, bro, you gotta change your ways, bro. Like so many people want you out the door. They're like that example right there, that argument perfectly shows where it has gone.
There's no middle with Colts fans, though. It's always essentially either you hate them or you love them. There's no one in the middle. And it's funny because when you go on social media, you see people arguing back and forth that all have valid points, but nobody ever just wants to meet in the middle. Like, it's always just you're either a Ballard hater or you're a Ballard lover, and there's no.
But that's a healthy fan base.
I agree.
That's a healthy fan base. I would be conserved if DeMarco was all like, bro, I can't wait to be the Cleveland Browns and actually mean it. I would be all like, bro, what are you doing? Like, I get where he's coming from. Ballard's dealt with probably more drama than any GM in the history of being GMs. So in his 8 years,
I also,
to
Zach's point, I also agree when he says, "Hey, you've had enough fucking time to get it right."
To be fair, we have been the Cleveland Browns underneath Chris Ballard, just with better records.
Barely, yeah.
That's really it.
Oh no, we definitely are old enough, man. I mean, Matt's turning 48 this year.
Shut the fuck up,
Jeez. I mean, my first year, I remember Tim Couch. That's the first draft I remember Tim Couch getting taken in '99.
Michael was saying we love the passion that you guys really love Colts football. Absolutely. You can see how heated we get. I mean, this is us on Sunday. As soon as we go down by 10 points. We
God.
Like what the fuck?
I started putting my phone down. I don't want to talk to y'all.
Me and Zach are going crazy in the chat. No DeMarco.
I just come in. I just come in and say, "Here we go again," and then I walk out.
Yep. Dave is saying we all just want to win and different ways to do it. Absolutely. And it's just like we all just sit there. Like, I mean, we all have our own ways of dealing with it. Some of us get pissed and keep going. Like Matt said, or like Damon said, I just get off my phone because immediately I try and just stay positive. Like, we're still in this game. It ain't over yet. Some people like, man, just fire everybody, get rid of them. And there's some weeks where I'm like that too. So, I mean, like, when you put your all into this, you guys can see our backgrounds and whatnot. Like, we love to go in and we're going to be passionate about it. If we feel like there's a better way to do it and we don't see it on the TV screen we're watching, we're all the type of guys where you're going to hear about it.
Zach was so mad when he made his thing at the bottom underneath his name that he spelled Ballard wrong.
I did. I did.
He put Ballard blows.
Ballard blows.
All right, Caleb here says, do you guys see re-signing Blackman better than going after Diggs? Also, do you see us getting Snead and still drafting a corner in one of the middle rounds of the draft? Go ahead, DeMarco. You can go ahead with this one.
Like I said before, I'm so over the whole situation with Snead because just of how long it's taken that I'd rather go get I can't remember all the corners. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, my memory is terrible. So if I try to remember somebody and I do, it's very rare. But Xavier Howard is who I would really like to see for us to get in if we don't get Snead. And then so that would be my corner. And then probably a mid-round guy that I'd like to see as draft. So I think depending on where you go, if you do get a vet, you got to go one of those mid to later rounds to get a cornerback. I don't see us signing Blackman because I think that if we were, we would have did it already, like all the guys that we did re-sign. So I would prefer a vet safety, but at the minimum, I'd love to have Blackman back. I wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, essentially. Yeah. I don't really have many comments on that because we've talked about Snead so goddamn much already.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we haven't really talked much about Diggs, but like I said the other day when I was in the gym, y'all kept talking about Diggs. I said, who the fuck is Diggs? Like, no offense, but
I thought we were talking about Stephon Diggs, right?
I left Seattle in my past. Give me a couple months
Diggs.
and I'll know everything about them. So, here we go. There you go, Zach. Go ahead.
Oh, give me Justin Simmons from Denver. Plays in that same style of single high defense.
Oh yeah, I know
mean,
you love Simmons. You love Simmons.
I do. He's a ball hawk, man. I think he fits in Gus Bradley's scheme like a glove. I mean, Diggs would, but Simmons is just my favorite type of. Like, he's a bigger safety. I think he sits at 6'1", 6'2".
Zach, real quick. So I know you love Simmons. My only reason he isn't my number one is
Injury
because
concern?
he's not injury, because he's more expensive. So as far as
Right,
I'm
that's
hearing,
fair.
his price is going to be higher than a Diggs or some of these
That's
other
fair.
guys. Where are you at with that as far as price wise to have
Well,
Diggs over Simmons?
this is pending Snead. So if Snead signs, Simmons out the window.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
if you sign, the way I see it is, if you sign Diggs, be prepared to have Blackman come back as safety.
Yep. That's
Or
fair.
if you sign Snead, be prepared to have Blackman come back as safety. If Snead don't happen, and you get Xavier Howard, and then you're going to go out and get a guy like Diggs, or and this is my opinion. Let's not kill me for this, because I truly believe, like, if you go out and you get Xavier Howard, I truly believe the Colts would then spend yet another pick on possibly a first round safety, possibly a second round safety, and be done with it. But to me, it all just depends. But I feel like if you get Snead, Blackman comes back. If you get Xavier Howard, you might be able to afford a guy like Diggs. You might be able to afford another guy like way down there, whoever that is, because besides Diggs and Simmons, really in the safety left that, in my opinion, that's worth a hill of beans. So,
Yep. Got some more comments over here about Snead. This is sad, to be honest. Ballard is dragging his feet, and the rumors might turn Snead away from us. But I'm surprised Snead hasn't looked at Colts Twitter and had already gotten scared and kind of walked away. You know, the amount of people tagging him and everybody going back and forth, and Colts Twitter has been nuts the last few weeks. I have never been on Twitter so much in my life until this whole Snead thing came out, and it's like I've just been following everybody and everything, and it's like,
bro, I don't
people are
have
nuts.
Twitter for that reason. Like,
that's insane. Every moment we spend waiting on Snead
is another Simmons. Absolutely, I agree. I would rather Ballard either wash his hands of the Snead thing, or do what needs to be done with contract extensions, so he could possibly have his cake and eat it too, and go out and get a guy like Simmons and be able to afford Snead if he were to, extend Buckner, rework Nelson's deal, whatever tricks they can do to the salary cap to get the guys that they want under the salary cap. I mean,
Hey, Toby Zubia, I just wanted to let you know I see you on Instagram, and he says Chris Ballard is a joke. Just wanted to let you know because we can't see that comment on our.
Well, he missed the debate from earlier, so
I think he might have commented that in earlier. I just did not get back to check it till just now, and I can't see a timestamp on it.
Yeah, but yeah, like I think we've all agreed. We've said it multiple times. Just tonight, we've said it multiple times that if we don't get Snead, we just need to make sure we get some veteran presence in the secondary. That's really what's important, because you can't fix inexperience with inexperience by drafting another guy in the first round and expecting him to fix the issue. We just hit over 200 viewers. We appreciate everybody coming out and watching.
A weird question, but if you miss on Snead, do you trade your 15th pick for a vet in the back end? So let's say you miss on Snead, you hit Xavier Howard. Like, that's the guy you go get. You then take that 15th overall pick, and you hit up Tampa and say, "Hey, how much for Winfield Jr.?" Realistically, this is not serious. This is like completely hypothetical. Do you take a swing on a still producing safety worth a mid first round value, or are you still going the vet route at safety? Like,
me personally, I'd still go to vet route at safety. I think you still go to vet route at safety and find somebody available. Get Xavier Howard, and you just move on from there. At least you've covered the veteran portion of it. Maybe they're not as talented as what you possibly could have got. And even if you don't get Snead, say you go get Howard, who should be cheaper, you might be able to get Simmons, so you get a more expensive safety,
Right.
and
Okay.
that right way of thinking. So I think that would still be the route to go. But me personally, like you guys have heard me say, like I'm really over. Like I was like getting hyped up and stuff and whatnot over Snead coming or not. But it's like, bro, I'm not riding the other roller coaster like fans because everybody's sitting here going at each other's throats. And then, like I was telling
For
you guys
real.
earlier, with the
Death
and
threats.
stuff,
That's
with the
wild.
death threats about all rumors and stuff. Like, bro, it's rumors. None of us know. Like, why do we keep sitting here and saying things like we really know what's happening? So, it's just one of those situations where I felt like already, to your point, Zach, I felt like we should have been moved on and left the situation. But if Ballard truly thinks he's the guy, he better be right because we've already had this discussion. Like, you better not sit here and wait and get it wrong. Like, you've had that.
Yep. Caleb here saying he thinks that they're letting Blackman test the free agent market. He could still be back, but for a lot less than what he thought his value is. His injury story will scare other teams away. His injury story is what scares me away. So I agree.
At all.
But I mean, if we're not going to go out and pursue anybody, I'll take Blackman back cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
KO's been
Same.
watching Instagram, ESPN, and YouTube like it's my job. We all have, man.
Same.
Appreciate you for coming in, KO too. You're a new viewer. Appreciate you.
The moment I've been looking for is Mo. He needs to. Mo and or Braden need that contract reworked. If not, both of them can get cut for all I care. Because I think Freeman.
I don't understand why we haven't cut Mo yet. I mean, the dude has no dead cap,
right?
And he opens up another $6 million almost.
I think Freeland could play right tackle and be just fine. And you're right, like Mo. Again, rookie. He develops, so give it time.
No, I mean, I don't know. I agree with you on Mo. I disagree on Braden.
Mo's a fullback, in my opinion, so they don't use those anymore, so we can go.
Well, plus we got a better one with Will Mallory anyway. He's more of a solid fullback style guy to begin with. So
7-0, okay, guys. I'm tired.
I thought Mo was going to be one of the first cuts. To be honest,
he should, but.
Hey, KO, me and Zach already had this argument, so you can go back to the first hour if you want to see the whole breakdown of that. But
it was almost the whole first hour, just so y'all know.
Like an hour and a half.
Caleb is saying, I like Howard at cornerback. People need to understand if we get him, he's not the same player he used to be. Would be a great to start. Would be Xavier Howard and help our young ones. I like Brents and Jones. They are still pretty raw though. Go ahead, Zach.
Question for the comment section. I'm asking the question. I want y'all's answers. I brought this up in the chat. I think DeMarco answered this, but I thought, Juju Brents has the ball skills. He's a big corner. He's 6'3". Why not play him at center field safety and develop him that way? And then sign a vet, draft a guy at 15, and now you essentially have someone who has that year experience, probably communicates well, is a pure enough athlete, play the center of the field, and it's cheaper, and you can use that money then that you paid Xavier Howard, but you're not paying for a veteran corner. You can then, or a veteran safety, you can then use that money to then go and address another issue, sign a receiver we like, find, another hole to fill in free agency, because somebody's going to cut somebody. Some team is going to cut a guy, and Ballard's going to be like, I want that guy. So my thinking is, why not move Juju to center field safety and just have him play that and just be a super big Earl Thomas? I want your thoughts and opinions.
While everybody get that down, Caleb, I also like Xavier Howard. He was also cornerback that I would have preferred first anyway, because I didn't want to trade anything, just thinking off of Chris Ballard's mind or the way he values his draft pick. So I thought that would have been cornerback one. I mean, there's still other options and whatnot out there, so never really know how that's going to go. But yeah, I think that's one way or another. You have to get some vets in that room. I think that's just got to be the way it has to go.
Yep.
Davis
to be
saying that Freeland needs more time. Smith is tough to replace. I absolutely agree here. I think Braden Smith, obviously, he has his health concerns, but when he's healthy and on the field, dude is one of the top right tackles in the goddamn league. So I'm just not really ready to let that go unless he
Me either.
starts declining.
Yeah,
Is
it's
Mo
got to
one
be
of
a
the
June
allotted
1st.
first?
June 1st.
Yep. So got to cut Mo by June 1st, or otherwise.
But if we cut him by June 1st, we save $6 million.
KO is saying between Will Mallory, Jelani Woods, and Colin Granson, Mo Ali Cox is expendable. Totally agree.
Mo's been expendable for years. He's had that one good game against the Raiders a few years back, and that was really about it.
Hey, Zach, somebody answered to the question saying Brents does remind me of a safety. He does agree.
I mean, dude is a safety playing corner. I'm not mad at it, but I think you're right. Long, rangy, DV type, tackles pretty well, physical. I really think he would have more success playing safety.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
KO is saying his sleeper pick is Kyrie Jackson from Oregon. We can grab him late second, early third. He blanketed Colorado to help Oregon win a solid 6'3" cornerback that beat Kool-Aid McKinstry in a foot race when he was at Alabama. Oh, your dad is saying Zach here, Gilmore another time around. I've seen some people put this out there. Where are you guys with that? How would you guys feel about Stephon Gilmore coming back and running it back?
I wouldn't mind
I'm
it.
not.
Why not?
I'm not. I don't know. I'm just not. I have this mindset that like when someone goes, they go. They're gone. Because it's like it seems like every time we release somebody, everybody's ready. He's gone. But then when he goes to the other team, he plays. He gets released. All Colts fans want to bring every single person back that we've cut once before. Like Zach brought it up earlier, and I almost was like, I almost got off like he did, just because it was frustrating to hear bringing back Yannick Ngakoue. Like, we cut these dudes for a reason. There ain't no reason to keep bringing them back.
Yeah, but we traded Gilmore, and in my opinion, his play hasn't fallen off for a 33-year-old.
And Gilmore didn't want to be here, so that was the whole reason he left.
He thought he was going to win a championship. Ballard did him right. I mean, he literally said that. The only reason he left Indy is because he thought he was going to be on a playoff team.
Yeah, and that's fine. And that's why I don't want to bring him back.
That's fine. I mean, he is 30-some years old, but for a one-year deal, veteran, kind of hard to argue with, especially if it's a zone defense and homie ain't got to do a whole lot.
Well, when he played for us, he used to frustrate me. He had some good plays, but at the same time, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time a lot. Like, he was getting lucky on some of the plays he made for us. Grateful for the plays, but wrong place, wrong time. Or right time.
Uzama from Cincy went in for a little more. I like him.
Mo's contract was bad to start with for 3 years. $18 million wasn't good. I think Uzama from Cincy went for a little more, and I liked him better at the time. That was a bad contract. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Mo got signed and then just forgot how to play tight end. That's my opinion. So, we've all been saying that man needed to be cut for at least the last 2 years.
Samson was an upgrade from Yannick in the run game. Yes. Pass game. Absolutely. I don't disagree with that. I just looked at it like I used Yannick because that was the first name off the top of my head. Not that I would sign him back, but that was just, the example and the name I pulled. The guy I really want Indianapolis to go after to add as a rotational piece, DeMarco wants nothing to do with him, but I think he would look nice in Colts blue. That's Chase Young.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like I wouldn't say I want nothing to do. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't. It's not that
definitely I agree with, but if you can get him motivated, he's a damn difference maker.
If he gonna be the guy that we need him to be every single play, the guy that's gonna come through in the fourth quarter, then absolutely I'm all for it. But the tough part is the every play part. Like, I mean, the consistent effort, the closing the game type effort. So I wouldn't say I'm totally off that ship, and he actually hasn't had too many visits or anything, so it could go any way. Just a tough situation there. So I wouldn't say I'm totally opposed to it. That's actually a good suggestion by Zach, because from what he was and what he's supposed to be, he could be the guy that we're looking for. So I can't say I'm totally opposed to it. I do think Samson was definitely an upgrade from Yannick in every single way that you can imagine. And so, yeah.
Dave, you said you think Young is a head case. Is that because he spent time in Washington? Or is that just because, like, the whole effort thing? Because, like, I would argue that that's probably time in Washington. And I think if you give him that money and a coach actually says, bro, an organization actually says, we believe in you. And this is what all we're asking you to do is get your ass after the quarterback. I truly think in that situation, you make it simple and you motivate him. However, you find out how he ticks. I truly think he could be a guy that is exactly what Indianapolis needs. And you probably can get him the first time around on a cheaper deal than what you would be able to get, like a quality defensive end who's making big bucks. It's essentially like it's a Russell Wilson thing that Pittsburgh just got. They got him for vet minimum, which was like $1.2 million. You could essentially get that for Chase Young.
Yeah, I'd like to hear more about the. I think when he's saying head case, is just like his head's not in the game as far as like what it says down there at the bottom. I just think his motor isn't there. I didn't see any more out of SF, and that's one of the things that I think that got him mixed up is the fact that I believe that maybe he thought like I'm on such a good D line, I maybe don't need to give effort every single play like you would think or something like that. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. At least I would hope that was the case. I'm not too sure, but I was pretty much out on Chase Young when I saw his effort in the NFC Championship game and other games down the road with the 49ers. I just didn't really see it there. So that's where I was at with it. I would hope it changed for his sake. But it's a tough one. But I if he can get it right, I'd take him. Especially for the answers that we need. You say,
I think most contracts are.
Yeah, your dad are saying that's the way Ballard loves to do them. Like he's all for paying it, especially when you come in. You got to be a guy. You got to earn it though. So, yeah, this is where we're at. But I just want to let you guys know, like, even though he takes plays off and it's obvious, Zach is totally correct in this. Like, if this guy is playing on his game, this is a top pass rusher in this league, regardless of any way you want to look at it. And I mean, run and pass, not just pass defense. So
whole package. I've watched a lot of Chase Young.
If he's going to come in and play to his ability, Zach is correct here. This is the move you make, but it's definitely going to have to be different because if you watch the film, this is one of those guys that Ballard's going to say, no way. So I get where you guys are coming from, but Zach is totally correct in his positioning as this being the guy that could be the closer.
It's low risk, high reward. One of those deals that I also feel like that's one thing that, believe it or not, Ballard does well is get guys on low risk, high reward type things. I mean, we all saw that with Danico Autry. We were all like, who? And then dude popped off. Kenny Moore is another example of that. Keogh, grab Simmons, Howard. OBJ once paid. OBJ. Yeah, OBJ once paid like he's a one again, even though dude got no knees. And I don't want to pay OBJ. Simmons and Howard, I do that.
Yeah, Simmons and Howard, sure, but OBJ, no, man. OBJ is a prima donna that comes into teams thinking he's going to be all that and help revitalize offenses, and he doesn't essentially do that. So, yeah, he was good in Baltimore, but he was really the only receiver outside of Mark Andrews that was worth a damn over there. So,
Zay Flowers.
Besides Zay Flowers, but Zay Flowers is that slot short route guy. He's gonna make you miss a tackle, and he's a run after catch type guy.
Right.
Better stop fumbling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm out on OBJ. I'm really not big on any of the free agent wide receivers, in my opinion. I don't want any of them. I don't really want any of the running backs out there either. I'm all right with just drafting.
What's y'all's thoughts on the running back market? Do you think it's crazy that these guys are getting big deals? Josh Jacobs, bro, 4 years, $48 million. Dude, that's nuts.
That's why he held out.
For a running back, dude, that's absolutely insane.
Yeah, we know you hate running backs.
Well, again, the Texans just paid Joe Mixon. Facts. The Texans just paid Joe Mixon. And Joe Mixon, I believe, hey, my dad's a lifelong Bengals fan. So, like, when it comes to Bengals players, besides Colts, I probably know just as much about Cincinnati as I do Indianapolis. It's just nature of the beast. But I think Joe Mixon is another guy was vastly underrated and underappreciated in Cincinnati. So in my opinion, Cincinnati just didn't use him the right way. So look out. If he goes to Houston and Houston gets an offensive line, he could be a real difference maker and a real problem. And they got him on the cheap.
Cincinnati's weird to me because they had all these weapons, and just a couple of years ago, they were literally talking about players wanting to restructure contracts so that they could keep every single player on that offense. You know, they wanted to keep T. Higgins, they wanted to keep Boyd, they wanted to keep Joe Mixon. So Joe Burrow was over there talking about, you guys aren't going to have to pay me big dollar because I want to be able to pay these guys. And now you're looking across that roster, and it's like T. Higgins is getting traded. Tyler Boyd wants out. Joe Mixon's traded or gone, and it's like that whole offense. I don't know what to even think about Cincinnati at this point.
Well, as long as you got Joe Burrow, you're a competitor. I do like the fact that they added Zach Moss and got rid of Mixon just for the simple fact is Zach Moss and Chase Brown. That's a lethal combination. I'll keep in mind they got to pay Jamar Chase. Like I feel like the reason why they let why they're not working a deal out with Higgins yet is Jamar Chase. Are you going to pay Jamar Chase, more than what you pay essentially Tyreek Hill? What's Tyreek Hill make per year? 35? Does he make $35 million a year?
I think he's at 30.
So you're going to pay Jamar Chase essentially $32 million a year. You're going to pay Joe Burrow. I don't know what Joe Burrow makes per year. I assume it's top three money in the league at quarterback.
I believe he's at 48.
Right. So you're paying 48 and a 30 and 30 something for a receiver and a quarterback combination. Like I understand why they're letting everybody walk. While the thought of that was cute, I mean that's literally like 80% of your cap space on two guys.
Yeah, that's valid. Joshua here says, I just want to point out, I've seen a lot of people say the Titans got really good with signing Calvin Ridley, and they have D-Hop, but they have no quarterback. I essentially think that Calvin Ridley was a good pickup for Tennessee. Do I think they got really good because of the pickup? No, I don't. You still don't know what you're going to get out of Will Levis. You don't know what you're going to get.
Bro, they're old.
Yeah, with God, didn't they? Nope, they didn't pick up a running back, did they? Who'd they get at running back?
Yeah, to Pollard.
Pollard.
Tony Pollard. I couldn't think of the damn name. You don't know what you're going to get with Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard was kind of inconsistent in Dallas. That's why they didn't re-sign him. He's solid, but and D-Hop is old. So really, I don't know. You don't know what you're going to get out of Tennessee. They got a new coach.
Ridley.
Yeah, you got a new coach. We'll see what they turn out to be. I guess I'm not really scared of it at this point. KO says the fact that Atlanta receiving core looks better than ours sickens me. I don't understand why.
I mean,
they've been terrible and they've got to redraft every freaking time.
I mean, Darnell Mooney's not bad. Rondell Moore from Indiana, if you know, you know. Dog was wasting away out in Arizona, and I think he'll finally have a quality receiver. So you could see him emerge. Drake May, overhyped. Another name to keep an eye on, just because all you fantasy people, if you play, I think Kyle Pitts is going to pop off this year because Kirk Cousins loves tight ends. So, I mean, solid. But I don't think Atlanta's going to do anything because it's Atlanta. So 8-8, 7-9, 9-7, whatever the deal is. 9-8 now. So.
Caleb here asks, what do you guys think of these Bowers to the Colts mock drafts? I don't see him there after number 10. Do we really need another tight end? I like Brian Thomas Jr. at 15, but Ballard probably trades back at 15. Depends on who we lock up in FA. I don't agree with taking Bowers in the top or in the first round at all. I'm not a tight end guy in the first round. That's just me. I don't know if you guys want to chime in on this, but we've had these conversations a lot on this show. So these are some new viewers, though, so they might want to hear our points.
If he's generational, I think he'll be gone way before Indianapolis picks.
Exactly.
That is Bowers. If he's there at 15 and the Colts feel like getting frisky, hey, I ain't mad. He's a Colt. I'll be disappointed we used it on a tight end, but I'm not the coach. It's not my job to worry about it. However, Brian Thomas at 15, I'm conflicted because I like
Get over it, Zach. He's elite. He will be elite. I promise you.
I like everything he has, but his drop rate scares me. The 10% drop rate, that's higher than like Terrell Owens. Like
Terrell Owens was elite.
Granted, T.O. was elite, and he's a Hall of Famer. So if Brian Thomas Jr. is half of that, I'm all for that. But the drop rate is kind of scary. But beyond that, like I think Brian Thomas Jr. is a definite sleeper in this draft. And I don't mean sleeper as in like not a first round pick. I mean whatever team's got him possibly has offensive rookie of the year type season from Brian Thomas Jr.
Go crazy.
Yeah, Caleb, to talk about Bowers, man, Bowers would have to have like a wide receiver style year for me to even be able to justify drafting a tight end at 15. If he's a generational talent, like everyone's calling him, and he goes before number 10, that's fine. But essentially, to me, I think whoever takes him in the first round is kind of crazy. Because the tight end's going to have to go for like 1,500 yards receiving, double-digit touchdowns. He's going to have one of the lowest pass drop rates in the league for it to even be justified at 15. That's my opinion. I know a lot of people are high up on it, and a lot of Colts writers are going to tell you that that's the pick to go with because Colts writers, for some reason, know everything.
They were right on Levis last year, right?
When all they did was, go to school for sports journalism, doesn't make them a freaking genius. But I don't know. At tight end 15, I'm no on that. I don't know much about Brian Thomas Jr., but I will say that
his tape is electric.
I wouldn't mind taking a wide receiver at 15.
I think dude can like jump onto the scene like Jamar Chase did as far as like from what his talent appears to be. Yeah. I think he can jump off the page like that. The problem is just like Zach stated with his drop rate, and then he was also playing alongside Malik Neighbors. It's tough for teams to see him as the guy. But I just think that all of his intangibles, his speed, his ability to just create big plays, it's just, I mean, I wouldn't sleep on it.
Let me say this. I think that Brian Thomas, besides Marvin Harrison Jr., I think Brian Thomas is the second real X receiver in this draft. So, like, if you know anything about how
you said the second real X,
like Marvin
or Neighbors.
No. Neighbors is a slot guy. I think he don't know how to beat the press like Brian Thomas does. Like Neighbors will work out the slot and be a dog that way. I think Marvin Harrison is an X receiver. You can leave him on one side. He can create his own shot essentially. I think Brian Thomas is the exact same way. You get him, you got yourself a future number one receiver in the league. Easy.
Yeah, I disagree with Zach about Neighbors being the slop guy, but I do agree.
He struggled off the press at LSU. That's all the only reason why I say that.
I don't know. I just think
they moved him inside and he ate, but outside I didn't see it. He always lined up on the inside.
I seen it anywhere that I seen him. I watched a lot of SEC. He killed us versus the Florida game. Obviously, our DBs were coached like trash, but I mean, I just feel like that guy, you can put him anywhere, and I put him right up there with Marvin Harrison Jr. personally. But I do agree with Zach as far as BTJ goes. Whoever takes him and wherever he lands, too many teams slept. Where I fall.
He's top 10 pick. If he gets out the top 10, someone's getting lucky.
Too many teams slept.
Yeah.
So what we got? KO says, don't forget Jamar Chase had a drop problem. Exactly. Everybody thought he was going to come in and goof it off. Joshua Merchant is saying we definitely have more needs than a tight end. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to keep going on to it because everybody thinks I hate Brock Bowers, and I really don't. I just hate thinking that somebody can sit there and say he's a generational tight end, and that's supposed to make me start oozing out of my eyes to think that he's going to be the next Travis Kelce. I just will never believe in it. until I see somebody playing on the field. I really just a tough one, man. Caleb says he's better than Pierce, though. I don't know if you're talking about a rookie draft pick, but I'm not saying that about any player in college versus an NFL player. It's just hard for me to go that route when I've already seen a player in the NFL and we don't know what you're going to be coming out of college. Your dad is saying go grab Tyler Boyd. I'm surprised to hear this because I asked Zach about this, and his first response was his dad's a Bengals fan for years, and so
I mean,
I didn't know how you would feel about it. I thought you might want Boyd back in the building.
I don't think he's going to get back in the building because I think he's either going to Cincinnati or Pittsburgh. He's from Pittsburgh, so I definitely could see him going to the Steelers. Or he'll come back after all the dust is settled and re-sign with Cincinnati. I just don't see him going anywhere else. I think he's either going home or he's going back to Cincinnati. I would love him to come to Indianapolis because I think he'll route anybody up. I mean, he's vastly underrated, but he's also he'll route anybody up. He'll give you that work. Like Shady McCoy says, he'll give you that work, dog. I just don't think he leaves Cincinnati. I think if he leaves Cincinnati, he goes to Pittsburgh, and that's it.
Oh, it got quiet.
Oh no, I was trying to tell you guys.
I'm reading stuff. So
there was another comment that I was about to say, but 1 second.
Thomas has 17 TDs. Hard to argue with that tape. You're right.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
His tape is electric. That's why I like Neighbors, but like Neighbors and the 2 games that I watched of Neighbors tape, he only worked out the slot. I did not see him go or off coverage. I did not see him get pressed. I did not see him be a single side receiver where, Thomas was the single side receiver and dude created his own shot. My only concern is the drop problem. I need to watch more. I'm not doing myself justice only being so limited with, the few games that I have, but I really do like Thomas Jr. I'm just concerned with the hands. That's all.
I don't like this one.
Ballard
Caleb says Ballard trade a mid-round pick for Buck, same number 13. Could Ballard be another way to get a true difference maker with that pick? Sure. It better be for like a legitimate player.
Bro, if he can fleece the Jets into giving us Sauce Gardner for 15, go for it. Because I mean that's the type of impact I want, because that's essentially what we got when we got Buckner.
For sure. K.O. saying if Bowers was 6'6" and runs a 43, heck yeah, grab him, but he isn't. Oh, I thought when I originally seen this, I thought you said he wasn't. I thought you were stating what he was, and I was about to say, where the hell did you see that at? But yeah.
I mean,
your dad's calling you out, bro.
Who?
Fair enough. Caleb is saying fair enough. College kids can be complete busts in the NFL. Still take them at 15 though. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, Caleb, but it's just a tough one, man. I mean, obviously, there's some that you can probably guess is going to be better than an NFL player.
Hey, Matt.
Until they get there, you just don't know.
I see that.
My pops is actually a journalist. Like, it's what he did for most of my life. So yeah.
Hey, it's no offense. Not to you. Just to certain people.
Like
certain Colts media writers who think because they're sports media writers that their shit don't stink and that they can't be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know if you know anything about our Cecil, but they be stirring up beef. Like they just want to see Colts fans mad. I feel
they fight with fans for no damn reason.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's only Stephen Holder. I ain't never seen any other receiver or not receiver. I ain't never seen any other sports reporter talk more junk than Stephen Holder has.
James Boyd does.
Dude acts like he's a player, like he played or something.
No, James Boyd does. If you follow James Boyd on Twitter, that man,
I don't have a Twitter.
That man goes off on fans sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's shocking. We had him on the show. I thought he was such a nice guy.
He is a nice guy. There's just some fans that piss him off, and he'll go at you. He won't back away from you. He's not going to start it like Stephen Holder does, but he will. If somebody disrespects him, he's not going to take it.
Well, being disrespected is one thing. Like another thing
it's
like
it's just
Holder
when like
can't be wrong. Like that's the thing I've noticed.
Yeah, so that's I mean, like it's similar. Like it's when guys kind of feel like you're not on the same level as them, they kind of take every opinion you have as laughable. And
Yeah.
that's just kind of one of those things where those guys kind of head towards. It's like,
Right.
oh, I'm a journalist. I be around teams. Something that you might think is correct is laughable if you don't agree with me.
Hey, I get to sit in on their press conferences, so I know football more than you.
Cool.
Yeah.
You do backflip?
Hey, you guys see this one right here?
Can we compete with it?
Yes, Anthony Richardson's better than CJ Stroud.
Let's read that one out loud though.
Honestly,
Honestly,
KOC,
guys, player
Player
for
for
player,
player,
can we compete with the
compete with
Texans
the
right now? Yes.
Sure.
Yes. JT's better than Joe Mixon. Anthony Richardson's better than CJ Stroud. I don't know what tight end they have, but ours are better.
I wouldn't
Michael
say
Pittman
ours
Schultz.
better, but
better. Better.
I wouldn't say better just because
Shut the
we have
fuck
the
up. I
proof
said
of
better.
CJ. I hear you. I hear you.
I think
hear you,
defensively
but
we're already better
I'm
than
just saying.
Houston.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, just being honestly, if we're taking it honestly, I think everywhere we match up outside of receiver and quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, I think defensively we're ahead of the curve on Houston. Receiver, I think we're dead even with Houston just because, like, Houston really only has Nico Collins because they kind of have an incomplete year with Tank Dell. When he was healthy, he balled out. You could say the same thing with us when AR. When he was healthy, he balled out. And then, quarterback, I think we have the better overall athlete for sure, but we have an incomplete there. I mean, they have CJ Stroud, who he proved he's the truth. I want to see him build on it. That's hard to do.
Yeah, for real. I agree, Zach. I want to see him stay healthy and be able to give us that excitement that we really know he has week in and week out.
Night, Pops. Have a good night.
Appreciate you, Cecil.
Is that everything, dog?
Holder was
Yeah.
wrong about Taylor last year. Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
Just
Holder
most
is
of
really
his
negative in his
teams.
posts, just from what I've seen. The Snead post, for example, too many people reporting on that. Yep. Offensive line were dominant over Houston. You kids are doing great. Keep kicking it and stay frosty.
See, Matt, you feel young. He called you a kid.
I am a kid. I'm not that old, man. I'm 33.
They coming for you, Matt.
Hey, I can run circles around every single person in this damn podcast.
Leave me out.
I can run circles around you too.
He got bad hamstrings.
Nah, leave me out. I'm like Jelani Woods. I'm good for once every 6 months. You don't catch me on that wood, bro.
Oh man, Stroud won't have the same luck next year. Teams have full season of tape on him now. I mean, he wasn't doing anything that you needed tape for, to be honest.
Exactly, and also he went from playing a third place schedule to a first place. So we'll see him against some other divisional winners and see if they keep up.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when his schedule's not so dang easy. He also only won 10 games, or 9. He won 9 games.
No, technically 11 with the playoffs. Yeah. But either way, I still think you still got to go out and prove it. I don't care what you do. Like, if you want to sit here and keep thinking that everybody's supposed to trend up, it's easily to say that anybody can trend backwards as well. You don't just give out big deals.
It's happened before.
Oh, every player is going to get better. No, that's
happened
not
before.
How the NFL works. Yeah,
RG3 won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
what happened to him?
Snapped his knee and ruined his career.
Yeah, so
I mean, I don't wish that on anybody, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's not one of those situations where you just always trend up. So we need to make sure that's recognized.
And the Rams game showed me what Richardson can be. Oh yeah, I think he put everyone. I think AR put everyone on notice how talented of an individual he is. Because I would say like AR, I'm going to use another basketball analogy because that's a sport we all kind of follow and watch, and it just AR literally LeBron James his way, to bringing the Colts back from a 24 point lead or 24 point deficit to tie it. Like, I mean, you could just see the talent that he himself had. So
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, when I was watching that Rams game and we were coming back in the third and fourth quarter, I felt like it was a luck resurgence, except more explosive wise. Like it just was insane. So
The crazy
I can't
thing
wait.
is
I just need it for 17.
there was only one game that he played in where I was like, he was kind of mid, and that was week 1 in Jacksonville. And and he didn't even play bad. Like, I just don't think it didn't show much of what Anthony Richardson was. But when he went and played against Houston, he scored 2 damn touchdowns in the first like minute and a half, started to show what he was, and then unfortunately ended up with the concussion, was out. And then against the Rams, he showed everything that he could be. And then in Tennessee, came right out, started slinging it again. Like, when he was on the field, he showed what he is and what he can be. As long as he can stay on the field, that man is going to be ruthless.
Hot take, Dave. Dave said Trevor Lawrence is taking a step back. Bro, I thought
Trevor
he was
Lawrence
mid
is a
the
good
entire
example.
time. Yeah.
I told everybody before, and you know what? I've had a Jags fan who has tried to call me out every single year, and I told him he was going to be a bust. I told him before they even drafted him, Trevor Lawrence was going to be a bust. I'm not essentially saying he's a bust because he's been okay, but every year he'd say he had one real good year, in my opinion. Yep. And it wasn't his rookie year. It was just year 2 when they made the playoffs.
Have that one good year, and everybody wants to jump on you. Yep. This is the guy.
I still don't see Trevor Lawrence as being the guy. I mean, yeah, he rips us up. Sure. Cool.
I agree, Caleb. Luck was robbed of that rookie of the year. I'll never let that go. And that's why I also thought Anthony would win it as well, because when you're that exciting runner, most of the time people will vote on you because of that. So I totally agree. I thought he was robbed. I'm just glad the Titans, KO saying, I'm just glad the Titans or the Jaguars didn't get Fields. I don't think either of them were going for him, but I wouldn't be mad. Either way, I think if Anthony Richardson is what I think he is, and from what I've seen him go from Florida to the Colts, I think we got the best, or we will have the best at some point. So
agreed.
That's where I'm at with it. But yeah, man, we closing the show out here. 230 viewers still on tap with us. Bunch of likes and hearts there. Appreciate everybody that was with us. If you guys can like and subscribe, go check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, on all the platforms. We are also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are live there now. Again, appreciate everybody coming out. Please like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate you guys for coming through. Scan the QR code on your way out. We got merch. So please just help us keep growing this thing. We appreciate everybody, man. Appreciate Damon. I know you had to get out here early. Zach, our banter back and forth, a little bit of argument. You felt a little bit of that me and Matt heat right there in a moment. Matt, as always, man. So hopefully we can get Trev back in here as soon as we start doing our mock drafts, man. But appreciate everybody tonight. Shout out to ZTV.
All right, everybody. And it's always go Colts.
Stay conservative, run the ball here on 3rd down.
Here's Richardson. He takes it in for his first NFL touchdown. And Pittman takes it inside the 20, the 10, towards the end zone. Touchdown on 2nd and 28. The Colts capitalize. Richardson to Pittman, 39 yards.